Hello and welcome to another episode of the Vault Dwellers Podcast. I am your host, MrMac, and this time I press record on the first time round. This is a special day. We have with us Gary Moore, as always. Gary, how's it going?
Episode 25, we've made it to 25. Could you believe it? All that time ago, 2 years ago, maybe nearly now, we started just as a wee baby podcast, and now we're 25 deep.
25 deep. I was listening to the very first episode again. I like to do that every now and again, and I was listening to it, and something you promised that if we get to 100, that we'll do subtitles, so you'd really need to start looking into that because we're a quarter of the way there. So you don't get much longer to plan how we're going to facilitate subtitles on the screen.
You mean more chance in sign language than subtitles?
That's absolutely that's I think the only thing is you big away with is I think maybe YouTube has closed captions built in, but they really kind of keep up with us. So as what it is. The only person that they maybe will be able to keep up with is our Hoodie. Hoodie, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited.
Excited.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. How you feeling? All good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm not. You know what? I was getting ready for the podcast, and I'm thinking, you know what sounds really fun to do? It sounds really fun to talk about what we've been playing.
It does. Yep, absolutely. Moving on. So we do our weekly shout out to our Rahula Hoop. But first of all, let me tell you a wee bit about the podcast. So this is three friends with a 10-year dream of podcasting together, and we're bringing it to you, bringing loads of different topics, different ideas, and different things, reviews from films and TV shows, everything. Nothing is off the table. So why don't we kick off, as I say, with a wee bit of a shout out. Rahula Hoop has brought us some really good things, and I'm actually quite excited to try and touch base with Rahula again, because we did a wee quiz with him at the start of the year, and I think I'm going to send him a wee email, a wee message to try and see if we can set one of them up to kick us off with the year. And then I'm also going to extend the hand out to our Rahula Hoop and see if he'll join the league, as I mentioned, for the Fantasy Critic as well, just to spread out a wee bit of the games, and we'll put some good multipliers and some good things in there that try and make it a wee bit interesting next year. But enough about that. We'll do an update on that next month. My last game for the Fantasy Critic comes out in just 1 week's time, so we'll know what happens then, but you guys will need to wait until a month's time. Spoilers, Hoodie is going to get all the points for all his games. He's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to win and take it all. So
I would also like to give spoilers to the fact that I'm in multiple leagues, and I'm definitely going to win all of them the same style, the same exact way.
Yeah, Spider-Man and fuck all else. That's a winning strategy.
That's what it was. This is very much.
Exactly. Well, I tried to throw out a suggestion just before we went live, and it got shot down in flames. So we're going to bring in, what have we been playing? Guess. That's exactly right.
Unions work.
That's it. We've got a don't make any changes. What's
easy people.
Broken. That's it. Just got to appease, or else we'll have a mutiny, and I have to pull out my. I'm going to keep my. I record this. You have pair of dicks card to another argument. So pick your battles. I'll let Gary take it away. What have you been playing?
I have been playing and completed Baldur's Gate 3. Way, congratulations, Gary. Woo.
Great job.
So it says on the PlayStation thing 130 hours. I don't believe that. I think that's way too long. I think maybe I've paused it a few times and stuff like that. I would say maybe 100 be good. But I have to say, I just loved this game. I loved it from start to finish. And even when I had that wee moment, it was Act 2, Act 3, I kind of stopped playing it for a wee while. and then when I got straight back into Act 3, it just straight away, the game just grips you straight away every time I play it. And I was actually sad to see it done, even though it was so long. I was really, really sad to see it like finished and actually seeing some of my companions and finishing out their stories and stuff like that. And it was just it was that way you just like you want more, but you're happy it's finished as well, which is a strange feeling. I love this game. I've never played a game like this in my entire life. Honestly, I just want to tell everybody to just give this game a shot because you'll love it. I think anybody could really like this game, even if they're not into tactics. It just does stuff like I've never played a tactics game that's actually so open and there's just so much variety today in a battle. You know, like there could be a water barrel in the corner that you'd not even notice, but if you burst it and then do a spell into that water, you can electrify people. It's just there's so many opportunities in that game, just for gameplay wise. That just you can just use your imagination and open the game completely up. There was one of the end game. There's kind of like a boss. I'm not going to go into the details, but basically there was somebody there and you had tried to save them. And you know, I did it it was night time. I did it, and when I went into the cutscene they killed the person and I was like, oh jeez, I was like, what am I going to do to save this person? I was like, and I died or something like that, so I ended up just turning it off and it was the next day, and I was thinking to myself, what am I actually going to do with this person? Like, if I go into that cutscene they're going to kill them, and I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to run up and hit them, like without talking to them. So I just ran up and hit them, and it worked. They never killed the person, and I was like, how you would just, it's just stuff you would think of in a game. But it's just Larian has just done such an amazing job, and this game, I mean, no spoilers. Well, there is spoilers here, but it's definitely my game of the year. This game, it's the best thing I've played for a long while, Right up there with Red Dead Redemption 2, I'd say, right up there in my books.
12 feet.
That's the only game I've been playing this week, and I've completed it. Happy to say.
Awesome.
Getting out of the story, or getting out of the story.
Yes.
Getting the story kind of out of the way the first time around. Now that you have a grasp on it, do you feel going back to it, you'll like circle around multiple playthroughs where you just kind of fuck about and see what happens if you do things a certain way, or do you feel like what you did was your definitive ending and that's it for the game for you?
Yeah, it's a funny thing because I think when I was done, I was like, should I just start this again? And I was like, no, it's way too soon. But when I always play games like this, or I play Mass Effect, whatever it is, the RPG, I always go for the pure heroic like person, like, and makes all the good decisions, or as good as you can make it in the grey situations. But I keep thinking to myself, how cool would it be to like do this a pure dark version and like try and do like stuff that I wouldn't have done, or dark stuff, or maybe kill people. And I think to myself, how much this game, like as I was having a conversation with Ben and MrMac, and we were talking about all the ways that our stories are completely different, and it's just amazing to think like that this game can offer that in such a long game and can offer such different playthroughs, and it's definitely got a replayability to it. But for me, because it's been so long, I definitely think I'll give it a good year and let it kind of rest for a wee while, and then I'd go back to it. But I would definitely like to try even a different class, because I was a barbarian, so a lot of mine was quite aggro and front line kind of fighting and stuff like that. So I would maybe kind of like to use my character. Maybe he's even something you don't even really get to play. He's even one of your companions. And just try something completely ridiculous. Like I was watching somebody, it was doing a walkthrough and they were a bard. I was like, how funny it was. Like they were literally talking a way out of every situation, and it just looked like a really fun playthrough. I was like, it's just completely different from what I was, because I was just that intimidator, like, what you gonna say? I'll fucking crush you. You know, that was what my wee guy was like. But in that sense, it was always for the good. It was always for I'll crush you because I'm being good kind of way.
I just think you've kind of took like, oh, I'm good, but it's like but you guys not really got the oh I fucking crushed it. Like, that's no what standard good thing. Like you've went like
He's
went
good.
You've went good, but like with an asterisk. Like good, but
good.
don't fuck about with him.
He's
like the Hulk.
He's good, exactly. He's good, but he'll know to put up with your shite. That's what he's like.
He's good, but when he wants to be good.
Love.
Yeah.
Exactly. When the situation calls for it. I just love this game. It's, as I said, this has probably been. Oh, I mean, it's hard to say it's a generational game because this was just started, but I can see this by the end of this generation still being straight up there is like one of the best games that I've played because already me putting it up the category with Red Dead 2 is just that, and Witcher 3, and that for me it's right up there with them, and it's very few and far between when these games come along. So I just love it. Love it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it as well. I've not finished it. I'm on Act 3 now since the last time playing it. I'll just keep the topic on the same game before I throw it our hoods. But I think it's strange because you really do need to be in the mood for it. Just what you were saying, like where you kind of went a wee bit of a lull. Like I feel like I kind of forced myself to play Act 2, like and I did enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to Act 3, but I just feel like I've kind of wasted my playthrough a wee bit, and I should have just put the game down. Like I feel like I've done it a bit of a disservice. Like I'm under leveled. Like I dipped the difficulty down a wee while ago because I just couldn't find the time to like get through some of these things that they wanted to today, and it's still challenging. Like I can assure you that it's still a hard. I'm still failing, if you like I'm not like running over everybody at it, and it's still very much like you need to be switched on, and I'm still getting to the point where like I'm doing battles and I'm doing to like my last character, like I mean, like I played a fight on a level that was quite prone to ledges, and if you don't know, in the game you can literally kick people off that ledge, and it happened to me twice in the one move where like the computer just literally volleyed two of my characters off the side of the map and there's nothing you can do about it. Can't do anything about it. That's it. So they just I failed I think it's athletics check or whatever it is. I failed the check and it just went prop and they just volleyed them out, and there's no point in loading it because they'll just fail it again. So I had literally like one person left, and it was Shadowheart, and they're like a healing magic kind of character, and I was just very lucky and very fortunate that I know how to manipulate that a bit to my benefit. And there's one spell that I've learned that turns turn undead, which destroys the undead, and I was very fortunate that's what I was facing. So I managed to position myself in a big enough circle, and she just clicks the fingers and half the people died, and I just done something again and managed to kind of change. And so it just shows you like you don't need to be the like Gary's character is, or you don't need to talk your way out of it. There's different ways to try and manipulate and get your way around things. But I enjoyed Act 1, loved Act 1, like beyond reproach. It's just so good. Done every mission, done everything. But now when I put it on, I'm still in that mode where I'm like, I have been playing this for so long and I just want to play something else, but at the same time, if I put this down, I just don't feel like I'll come back. So I'm going to probably just unfortunately do it a bit, probably more of the service and power through, and hopefully it'll click and I'll get sucked into some of the side quests, and rather than try to power through the main quests. But unfortunately, if you don't do the side quests as you go along, a lot of them close off to you. So you've just got to kind of stay switched on and try and enjoy it. But in the same token, it's like this is my playthrough. Like I'm playing it almost with like a sense of urgency, so I can kind of write that off in my mind where I'm like, no, I want to try and get a resolution to this. And just probably answering Hoodie's question, I think it's something like I've already started thinking about. Like I'd like to do Gimli, I'd like to do like the Lord of the Rings, kind of thing, and I've looked it up, and there's people who have kind of done it before, so like I could kind of copy their character creation, and you've kind of, obviously he's not got his voice, but or his traits, but you can still kind of do that kind of approach and just see what kind of happens. But my only fear though is that I really enjoy the side characters that I've chosen in my party, and I just don't know if I would want to take anybody different because of how like I approach the combat in a particular way. Like I am the mage, I don't have a mage, so I would have to take a different mage, which I don't really like them. And you'd have to maybe take somebody else. You can do different things, obviously. You can probably completely respec some characters and make it worth your while. But so as you said as well, possibilities are endless. So I'm sure if I tried it again next year, or maybe like the start of the following year, like to put enough distance in between it, then I could see myself doing another 2 playthroughs. A co-op one with yourself was something we discussed at some point, so I would really enjoy being able to kind of jump in and out of that as a long-term thing, because hearing like Hoodie and Ben's big story and what happened, like, just even had me laughing when I was listening to the last week last episode again, and I'd heard it twice before that. Like it's just, as you say, the possibilities are endless to what you can do and how you can get out of situations. I just feel like sometimes it doesn't really explain to you like that you're on the main path or you're not on the main path, or what is going to close off to you when you've like, because it's like, don't make sure you go back and do all this stuff, and I'm like, aye, it's fine, I've done everything I want to do, but there was one main quest. I didn't realise that there was like main quests that you couldn't like pick if you took this one. Like you're taking a very deliberate path, and I'm like, so I'm talking to people and I'm like, oh, I'm in this area, and they're like, I never done that like whatsoever. Like, and I'm like, all right, okay, well, I didn't realise that if I did this, I couldn't go and do. Like, I know it said you're about to a point of no return, but I didn't realise that this was the path without any question. Like I couldn't literally change it, but you just got to kind of lean into it and see what kind of happens. So, I'm up there. Probably
that's your story, isn't it?
Aye,
that's your story. Well, that's what he is.
Aye, I'm kind of up there, but I think it's good. I would maybe like everything about it, the movement, the fact that it's not grid based was a big thing for me, like in terms of the strategy, and then like what you can do if you really want to kind of manipulate it with like splitting parties and taking 2 people into the fight and leaving 2 people out of it and then bringing them in late, and it's just ridiculous, like the amount of stuff that you can do. I can't think of an example that tops Gary's cutscene, like preventing a cutscene to save somebody. That's pretty impressive as well, that they can write that kind of thing into the loop. So hats off to them, and hopefully people do pick the game up if they're listening, or if they're on the fence. Just make sure that if you invite Hoodie to play with you, that you make sure you save it every couple of minutes, just in case. So sweet with that wee childish giggle there, letting it loose. I'll throw it to your good self, Hoodie. What have you been playing, mate?
Now, I haven't jumped back on too many new things. I did wrap up Tinykin again. I had
nice.
Obviously for our game of the year, I played that on Xbox at the time. Went through all the achievements for that. We all know achievements aren't satisfying, so I bought Tinykin on PlayStation, and then just got the platinum for that. Let me tell you what, game's still a 10 out of 10. I love it very much.
Is it a good platinum, Hoodie?
Yeah, it's really good actually. It didn't take too long. It's mostly like just collectathon cleanup stuff. There were a few pieces of pollen that I did have to look up, because I was like, oh, there's no chance in hell I find this. I have scanned this entire room. I have no clue where it was, and having looked it up, it was like it was right in plain sight, but just enough that it was in my blind spot. So those things were, again, not a problem. You just takes 10 seconds to Google that and you find it right away.
Is there DLC? Sorry.
No, there
No?
was an add-on for like time trials, which is fun.
I thought
So
that. I
you
wasn't
can
sure
kind
what it
of
was.
like, yeah, it's really good. You get costumes out of it and stuff. So there are different outfits that you can unlock, which is like a fun thing for uh making Milo look like other characters or whatnot, and giving you incentive to want to keep playing it to earn things. So, well, how fast can I get around this room is a thing that I learned quickly. I'm not fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I thought I was good at Tinykin. Apparently not.
Yeah. That bar of soap is
But
entirely unpredictable. Like, I refuse to believe that that's an acceptable form of transport.
I tell you what, it's a slippery slope. And
100%.
but yeah, I like getting through that game again just felt so magical. It's like there's nothing like that game to me where it hits on all cylinders. I'm like, oh man, I love this. I can't wait for their next game, Rendezvous. It looks so good from what they've been putting out at Splash Team. Yeah. But besides that, I went through my games last time and immediately got criticism from one Ben Benderson, who took the time out of his day to say, wow, how could you not bring up that we've been playing Disney Speedstorm? To which I argue, he's right. I didn't bring it up, and we've played a lot of Disney Speedstorm.
That doesn't sound like an argument, Hoodie. That sounds like a concession.
You know what? You're right. It is. I do concede. He was correct. I should have brought it up because we've put in so many hours that I checked. 33 hours, and I didn't remember it.
Wow, that's a lot to forget.
I'll tell you what, it's not a reflection on the game because I love the game. It's very fun. We're going through, well, we've kind of dropped off of it since. I still go on it daily to get the free items in the shop, but the fun of that game is very much the season pass, which is kind of a thing you can just do and you don't have to buy if you want like the characters that they have in the pack. That you can, but other than that, they have like different challenges that they release almost like a tiled story throughout the season. A season seems to be never ending, but it is a fun thing to keep you going to it, to be like, okay, there are 25 challenges in this. Get all 25, you get a bunch of gold and different things for free. Again, it's just in the game. And most of the stuff in the shop can be bought with that, which is nice. There are a few exceptions to, like, if you want to buy a character outright, those have to have like a blue currency that you can earn within the game. It's just a lot harder to do. But you could also just buy the currency if you wanted. I mean, I don't know why you would. You could just keep playing the game. But it is the season pass strategy of, well, here's 2 chapters we're releasing now. You play through those, beat all the challenges, do that. We'll release 2 more and then 2 more. And I think that's been a great way to get me to keep coming back. Unlike Fortnite foreshadowing, where I'll jump into that and just see a load of missions that all feel tedious.
Yeah.
This is more, hey, beat this race, just get first if you want to get like the first tier. And then there are other incentives in there to get more stuff, but
Yeah,
for the most part, it is just like beat this. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
It makes me
games.
Yeah, I feel like that it gives me a reason to feel successful in what I'm doing. I don't like feeling like a loser. I mean, there's probably somebody out there who does, but not me. And so when I do get to the end of something and I'm like, oh man, I missed that, it makes me feel bad. Where this, I get to the end of it and like they're like, here's the next challenge. I'm like, oh, okay, so I don't need to do the incentives, but I could. There's a lot of fun things that are online that I like. So it's very Mario Kart-esque. They have the power-ups that you know, the slip on a banana peel, that kind of stuff. But they're Disneyified, so like there's a time travel power, so you can like skip ahead of everybody else for a little while, or you can make people dizzy, so all of their controls get inverted. Like
That's
those
fun.
things are. Yeah, it is really fun and creative. The music in this game is incredible. Like, probably the best part of the game, which, I mean, it sucks for the rest of it, but it is like a standout of, whoa, That music should have just been released on an album. It's really great. It's all like original Disney songs that are remixed in almost a dubstep or techno way, and it's so fucking good. Like, very impressive for a free-to-play game. By the way, this game is free to play. I don't think I mentioned that, but you can just play it. You don't have to buy anything. You get several characters unlocked at the beginning. I believe Mickey is one of them. Maybe Mulan. But yeah, I've been earning characters left and right pretty quickly. Same with Ben. He's even farther than I am throughout the season. But it was a very like surprising experience to jump into this and be like, wow, this is very solid. I did not imagine a game like this because I've jumped into ones that I've had to pay for, like the Nintendo All-Stars one or whatever they call that, or not Nintendo, sorry, Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon.
Mario Kart on the brain. But yeah, I've jumped into that one, and it's all right, but it doesn't feel good. I think the closest that's ever come to Mario Kart is Crash Team Racing, and you know, even that doesn't quite meet the level of what a Mario Kart does, which is just, I think, perfect. This feels like a great version of Mario Kart that's free. Of like, oh, if you didn't have a Switch and you didn't want the barrier to entry, this is just perfectly like satisfying. It'll hit all the notes of what a kart racer should be, in my opinion. So yeah, I've been having a great time with that, and you know, no loss in downloading it, I guess.
No, I didn't realise it was.
But if they want to,
100%. hit us up.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was free. I'll maybe check that out. I like a kart racer.
Yeah.
Although I never got very far in the last one, the Hot Wheels one. I never played a lot of that.
Really
I did really enjoy it. It was just one of those things. Like, it was too much going on at the one time, so it kind of fell by the wayside. But it's really good to have a game, especially for like a Friday night. If other people are playing different games and you join and you don't want to play, something too heavy, you can stick something like that on and just play it in the background.
This is absolutely perfect for that. That's a great scenario because that is what I'll do. I'll just jump in there and run races. And there's a regulated mode or a like crazy mode, teams. It's really fun how many different options you get, and there are a lot of varying tracks. And then they'll also do the thing if you'll get certain tracks that are the same, but they'll play them in reverse. So that does spice it up just enough where you feel like, oh, that's right.
Big difference.
So there's a good variety of things. I do like that everybody has their own special power. So like every character, like Jasmine, for instance, she summons Raja to attack players in front of her. Right? Like
that's fun.
Things like that are so cool. But it also makes it so you don't have to worry about the carts, and the carts aren't. Everybody's on the same playing field as far as that goes. So you're leveling up the racers. So you're taking the time to like upgrade Jasmine or Mickey, or there's so many polls in this too. Of like they have all the Monsters Inc. Characters, like the main core, and then they have Toy Story. They have Figment the Dragon, which is like such a deep cut pull for a lot of people that don't visit Disney World. A really good amount. I play Steamboat Willie. Well, they call him Steamboat Mickey in that, but it's Steamboat Willie. Really great. Highly recommend.
Nice.
That's it for me.
I've got to download that one.
Can I ask one question? Because the last time we were talking, you were playing Spider-Man.
A wee bit quieter, you can ask it. Yep.
Last time you were asking about Spider-Man. The last time you were asking, you were talking about Spider-Man. You were halfway through it, I believe. The last time, I just wanted to get a wee recall of how it was. I know you finished it, but just how was it? How did you feel? Etc. Etc.
I did beat it. I platinumed it. I had a good time. I think it is a very good game. I don't think it ever reaches the heights of what I loved about 2018, or especially Miles, which I think is by far and away their best game yet. Of like, wow, I cried in Miles. I loved everything about it. The story was so tight. All of these different things. I think Spider-Man 2 is exceptional in gameplay. I think it's the best playing of the Spider-Man for sure. With like zero doubts, the wingsuit is such a game changer that it makes it nearly impossible for me to want to go backwards because it's just so fucking good. Like that wingsuit is incredible. I think Harry is a great character in this. I loved him. I think the MJ stuff is really fucking good. Where in the 2018, I was like, I'm not on the spectrum of everybody hates this thing. I was, yeah, it's okay. I mean, I could take it or leave it. This one, I was actually excited when MJ popped up. I was like, oh, let's go. I'm excited for this. I think there's a lot of things with the story that was very much less enticing to me. Where I got to the end of it and I was like, maybe a little too ambitious and too MCU, which was my problem by the end of it. Of like, my Spider-Man personally is neighborhood. I like him sticking to kind of like a New York problem. And although there is a New York problem in this, it feels like a world-ending New York problem. And because, again, the MCU problem of, hey, the Avengers exist in this universe, and you've established that. Why aren't they here? Why? Well, things are happening. So there were a lot of things like that got in the way of, I think, the overall enjoyment of the story, where the subtle moments, the little interactions that he has with Harry, MJ, or Miles, those always feel so genuine and real, and probably the best I have ever seen out of any Spider-Man. Of like, wow, you nail Peter Parker so much. He is so well realized in these games. And I think this is the best version of Harry I've ever seen. I loved the actor. I loved the performance that they gave. I thought all of that was so great with his dynamic with Peter. Miles is great. I do feel Miles is a backseat character, which really sucked for me because I love Miles Morales so much, the game itself and him as a character. So there were just, it was that thing of like, oh man, if almost. And I say the criticism with so much love because it is a series that I think they are perfect for. Insomniac is my favorite studio. I love all of their games. Sunset Overdrive is my favorite game of all time. And I just think nobody is better suited to handle Spider-Man than them. And at the end of it, not once did I take away, well, I could take a break. I am excited for a Spider-Man 3. When they get there, I'll be on board day one. But yeah, I think out of the three of them, this was just really ambitious and maybe too much for me.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I just want to share this because I went on while you were talking and downloaded the game. But look, there's a wee, you probably can't see it, but there's a wee Aladdin. It's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
The speed store.
Yeah.
Aladdin,
It's
his
very
wee car.
fun.
I don't think I'll ever get this to show it because there's too many lights, but you probably see his big smile.
Is he on the carpet?
In the video,
It's
yeah.
great.
No, he's on a car, but he's wearing the really cool sports racing jacket.
Yeah, his special
Suit.
ability is the carpet.
Right.
He rides the carpet to run into people.
So
That's fun.
So
Genie's in there as well. Yeah.
That's what I was showing. Sorry, actually, it was Genie. I never. Sorry, messed up there. Anyway, good.
Well, you know what? Well, one more addition to this, because Disney Speedstorm, if you want to sponsor us, let me tell you what. Next season is Frozen. Okay? And if you love Frozen, don't let it go. You know, jump in. Jump on in while the water's cold.
That's it.
Also, they're adding Oswald and Hortensia. What more could you ask for? That's all I want. Well, I want Roger Rabbit.
Exactly. Which more could you ask for? And it's quite good for a free game, so I'll check it out. Probably not right away, but it's on the. If it's on the console, there's one step towards playing it. That's for sure.
We love it.
We certainly do. Right, we're going to kick off with the topics. I'm going to go first with mine. I had a wee idea that I don't know why, it just kind of came to me. We started playing it again recently, and I just thought to myself, do you know what? We need to talk about, we have a wee conversation about Fortnite. And then, I don't know, one of the things where I'm like, right, I'm going to try and think about all these different things or all these different events. And instead, like I said to the boys before the episode, I'm just going to freestyle it. So we're just going to kick off. We're going to talk to the guys about when they first started for like Fortnite, how they came across it, how they felt about it, all that kind of stuff. Because for me personally, like, I had seen it, it kind of started appearing on social media and stuff to start with, and we had kind of long past our like online multiplayer kind of games or whatever. This is back when myself and Gary and a few friends would play, different games, Call of Duties, that kind of thing. But we were even like long past that. Was just one of those things, and we managed to. I had it downloaded, and I might have played like one game or something before. Or I think I played it the morning of when the guys came over for a wee birthday surprise, and I had it downloaded, and I thought, why, I'll just fling this on while we were waiting for everybody to get up and for me to make some food and stuff. We started old school, passing the controller around the room and having kind of goes at this game, and so whilst I was there on the first week, certainly was there playing this free mode. And it's probably worth just touching base with the fact that there's obviously another mode to this game that I've never even tried. It was probably one of the things after I started playing it that I strongly considered for quite some time, was trying out the Save the World mode, just because I really like the look of the zombies and building and all that kind of stuff, but could just never ever separate myself from that free to play grasp. Like, despite the fact that you were sinking in, every month you were sinking in more and more money for these battle passes, I could never justify paying for the Save the World version of the game, which I just find really, really bizarre. That you're like, here you go, here's some money. Like, you just have convinced yourself that it's like, this game's free, so I'll just pay for the ability to earn all these cosmetics and stuff. It's absolutely so strange. But I'll throw it to you. It's just that was my first involvement in Fortnite. I don't want to go too far into it, but just in terms of like how you kind of discovered the game, your first kind of thoughts. Like, we obviously, as I say, went on to play quite a few squads and duels and all that stuff, and trying to kind of get our first kind of wins and stuff, because it was a really challenging game back in the day. Somewhat a wee bit kind of easier now, but back then, right at the very, very beginning, it was very, 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 very difficult. But you might have a similar kind of obviously experience to me, given that it was here, but if you've got anything to add to that.
No, as Sean said, it was actually Sean that showed me it that morning, and I was like, "What's this shitty game?
I know.
What is this piece of shit?" Started watching it, and I'm going, "All right, so you do that? Oh, you can build a wee base. Oh, you can do this. All right." And I went home, and I was like, "Do you know what? That game's free. Why don't I just have a wee download?" Downloaded it, started playing it, started to realise I was a solo champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Get wins in the old solo games.
Hiding in the bushes.
Hiding in the bushes, that's it, with a rocket launcher. Like, that was amazing. That's how it really started for me. And then, as you said, it was me, you, Ross, and Ryan at the start. We just started playing it, and it was very strange going back to that co-op feeling. Because as you said, we were long separated from that for COD back in the day, like when we were like 15, 16. So you're talking about, it's a good 5-6 years later, and when we started playing it again, and it just became a sort of ritual. It was like every Friday or every Saturday night or whatever it was at the time, and we all just kind of got together every time we could and play Fortnite, and it just evolved. Some people dropped out, some people dropped in. We had different people playing, and nowadays it seems to be me, you, Hoodie, and Mrs. Mac. that I played.
That's it, exactly. I'm sure.
It took Mrs. Mac a wee while to get into it as well. Actually, she was there about a good solid half a year later.
Aye,
I believe.
She was.
It's incredible.
She was quite a bit after that for starting it, but she's actually started. Do you know when it was? See do you remember the game mode that they put in where you could drop and it was like 60 people or whatever, and you had to, and you would just like multiple like be respawning all the time. Over and over again. That was actually when she kind of cut her teeth, if you like, because she started, and what she would do is like find a sniper rifle and she would just camp, and she had a really good fucking shot on her, like to try and find things, and for there she just started to get more and more kind of confidence and kind of moved on for there. But Hoodie's right, she is good at the game. She does really enjoy playing it as well. I actually came in the day for work and she was shouting at the telly. I don't know what it was happening, but I don't know if somebody killed her, but I walked in and she's like, "Oh, get to fucked," like shouting at this big banana on the screen. So I'm positive she was having fun. But that was her experience today. Hoodie, what about your good self, mate? What did you how did you come across the game? Was it through social media as well, or how did you kind of start? Obviously we started playing with you as well. Once when we were kind of doing after I'd kind of met you with the Twitch thing, I think we'd started to kind of get you in thereabouts, but obviously you played a lot before that.
Yeah, so I got a PS4, and because the price of that bankrupted me, I didn't have any games for it besides Little Big Planet 3, which came with it. And there was a free-to-play section on PlayStation, which there still is. I don't know why I'm saying it. It's like it's past tense. But you go in there, and I'm looking through all the free games. There's a tank one. There's fucking Solitaire, whatever have you. I downloaded 2 that got me excited. The first one was Warframe, which quickly
Warframe
fell off
class.
that when I realized it's great. No shade to Warframe. I'm horrible at it.
Yeah.
I'm like so bad that I was like, I'm never gonna get good at this. I've got to stop. I better stop right now. So I then jumped onto the second free-to-play game, which was a little thing called Fortnite. And let me tell you what, having no friends to play that with, it was a perfect game for me because it was solo. And the solo mode at the time wasn't I don't know. It was very barren. I mean, this was a game that was definitely meant to be played with people, specifically friends.
Yeah.
And so jumping in there, I didn't quite get the vibe of it. I was like, I don't know what this is. I had never played a battle royale at that point, so I wasn't in tune with like the PUBG last man standing kind of idea.
I'm the same.
Yeah, so it was very foreign to be killed and then that's it. And I was like,
that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I'm not good at this, so I just keep dying at 99. Like I'm the first body to drop, so I guess this is not fun.
Yeah.
And I put it down, and then they were like, I want to say it was Borderlands that I think brought me back in, of claptraps in the game. And I was like, I love Claptrap. Big fan of this character. I'll try it again. So I still had it downloaded because I had nothing else to play anyways. So I'm jumping in there, and they had added golf carts at the time, which I think was a new thing for them. This was right before they added planes next, which I was like, whoa, what a game changer. I could go around this map in a golf cart. Nobody can catch me. This is how I'll win. I'll just drive away from people. And you know what? That's still how I play. A coward. So I'm driving around and I'm having fun. I'm like, you know what? This game is supposed to be a shooter, but it's a racer to me. And there were little mini challenges that they've introduced, not to the extent of what missions are now, but little challenges throughout the world, like go through fire hoops or whatever it was. And it was really vibing. I started to get it, and I don't know if they had it at start or I just didn't find it at start, but it seemed they had introduced a team deathmatch mode, which that is where I started playing the most of. I didn't get into Battle Royale until a little ways down the road when they introduced Deadpool as a season, and then I was like, well, I want Deadpool, so I'm going to go through all of these things to get him in the Battle Pass, which still to this day I think is the best season they've had. I know Marvel's season's great as well, but that Spy season was incredible. But yeah, most of my experience was in Team Deathmatch at the time, and that was really fun because that is, you die, you get to reboot, and you get all of your stuff, and you can redeploy at any point in time in the map, which is something I think that should just be in the regular Battle Royale, because fall damage isn't fun. The amount of times I've lost just because I didn't realize there was a cliff there seemed so annoying to me. Which Team Deathmatch fixed all of that, so I really loved that. But then when I did start to like talk to other people, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I play Fortnite too," and we would squad up every X amount of time, or they'd come over and we'd play split screen. Things like that really started to get me into the whole Fortnite universe of, okay, I'm dedicated to this. I'm getting the seasons. There are only a few I've missed that I've chosen that I didn't want Doctor Strange in my locker. I was like, no, I don't want him. Go away.
Stain.
Yeah. I can't have that on my track record. So there are things like that, but for the most part, I've been there every season, loving it. I really think this game is so unique and special, and as much shit as it can get for being, the biggest thing in the world. It is unlike anything else. I mean, to bring all of these licenses together and make them cohesive and have everybody play nice is insane. I feel like people don't quite grasp. Yeah, you could say, yeah, well, they gave them money. Listen, a lot of people have tried to get these things in the same space, and they couldn't do it with the amount of money. I mean, I don't think I've experienced anything like this since, like, Roger Rabbit. This is insane how many IPs are in here, and they are all fun and creative. Like you were saying, it's funny that we've spent X amount of money in the shop and not for the base game, but it's like, man, they make great skins. And like the emotes are on another level too. I'm like, man, I need that. I need to have a saxophone.
It's exactly like some of I've fell thinking it, because I've absolutely happily gave them the money for just an emote, but like it's ridiculous the amount of different things and dances and just stuff that they can bring in and share, and what that's then like evolved into something else, and I've even seen it in like nephews, like my nephews and stuff, or like seeing like even hearing stories for Gillian and stuff about like kids, like young boys now, like, and groups of boys are all like dancing, like doing these like Fortnite dances now, like in classes and stuff.
Bless you.
Thanks. So like these kids are doing like these dances, and I think it's maybe there'll be like a stem of confidence for that now as well. So like it kind of shows you like how it's like affecting like people in our kids, I should say, like in the like outside the games and stuff. Although that's probably a conversation in itself, if I'm honest, in terms of how it's affecting kids and whatever else. But just to circle back to like the start of Fortnite, I brought up a list. I'm not going to go through all of them because I wanted to see like some of the themes, because I'm on there's a Fortnite kind of wiki now, and some of the themes aren't quite as I don't know, directly named as what I would have liked them to be to make you recall what they are, right? But one stat that I did see that I thought was really interesting was that so there's like a pre-season of Fortnite, which was when the Battle Royale was first released, and then There was obviously season 1, so between the two of them, but basically it started in 2017. So, that's 6 years, over 6 years now, and I just can't believe that a game of this level, like, when you look at it at its core, it's a battle royale, it's an online game, but like, it's not like this. It's not. I wouldn't say it was like a PUBG obviously level of shooter. Like, it doesn't do any one thing like amazing, but it is taking enough of all these different things and bringing it to make it like a much more like approachable shooter. Like, you can go in and pick it up every now and again, and everybody's equal. That was the biggest draw for me. Like, that was like, I was like, hold on a minute here. You mean like that everybody starts the game exactly the same every single time? Like, it doesn't matter if I've been playing this, for an hour, 10 hours, or 2 weeks, whatever. Like, when people started playing, now obviously you get used to the controls, you're maybe a wee bit quicker, you're used to where to go for things, so there's some advantages to recording some more hours, but it is logical that somebody could pick up this game who is familiar with games and in their first ever game win, because you just have to kind of look at a map or look at an area, or you're at this bit and you pop it and go, oh, that's a wee bit, oh, what's that name, oh, what does that mean, and you're done there before you know it. You don't even need to know that a chess is a chess. You can see it. It's playing a fucking jingle. Like, it's like that obviously clearly wants to. It's so clever the way that the advertising, like, or not advertising, but the way the game mechanics work. That it's like, right, I'm going to go and open that, and all of a sudden you've got this gun, and obviously when the game first came out, it wasn't quite as automatic, but now, like, it automatically sorts the order of your guns and stuff for you in like a certain order that you think you want to be able to kind of use them. Like, it's just faster and crisper now to where it was back then. But there was never a point that I've played this game that I thought, oh, this could be better or that could be better. Like, it was just fun. Like, people could do it better, the building and stuff like that, but I just felt like it was just one of those. It's one of the things I don't see it. I don't see how there would be an end to this, like, now, because it's just look at Apex, right? Apex came in, and I believe, without researching too much, I'm pretty sure some of the big streamers get some incentives to play Apex when it first came out, like, because a lot of them dropped Fortnite and moved over to play Apex for a short time, and that was the kind of in thing for a wee while. But it just feels like it all comes back to Fortnite. Like, it just circles back, and if I thought, like, that's gonna kill this game. People are like leaving and dribs and drabs, and they're gonna go and play that. And now you're talking about this. I don't know how they come up with it. They must have a literal like board on the wall for all these different ideas where they can take it in all these different places. Without broad brushing it here, but to go for building in just a traditional one version of the game to a game that's user friendly for people that aren't quite as good or efficient, that they can do respawns and they don't have fall damage, and they can just play with their friends and switch their head off and just try and get as many kills as possible. Like, I loved playing that. I enjoyed the game, but I loved playing that game mode. It was ridiculously good. Moving for that to this no build now that they've got. I mean, I thought I was finished with this game until I seen that you could play it with it building. I mean, that's ridiculous. Like, it's just a shooter now.
That was the biggest game changer, like the magic spot of this is what I've wanted for years. And when they gave it to me, it only made the game better. It wasn't a thing of, well, now that I have it, it feels lesser than. No, in no way do I have I felt that for once. I've only ever fallen more in love with jumping into a few matches by myself or with friends. I mean, like, it is so fast-paced and quick, like you were saying, that it feels so good to just run around that world, dip into a slide, vault up a building, find a chest, run around, switch guns, drop this, do that, and I start to feel better and better at what I can do when I'm focused. When I'm talking to friends, I'm horrible at the game. But like on my own, it is that great feeling of solos that Gary has experienced of like getting that dub and walking away and feeling like so good about it and being like, oh man, that I just took out, what 100 players just say to make myself feel better. But that kind of idea is so much fun, and I think this is another game that I can't speak to every accessibility option because I don't use them all, but for the ones that I do use, it helps me so much with my I have auditory sensory issues, so I generally play games unless it is story driven without sound. So I won't turn on the volume. And this game has an accessibility option to be able to see where chests are with little pings and never even having to have sound on. And you could see where gunshots are coming from. Things like that help me so much. And playing it that way makes me want to play it even more because I'm able to enjoy it versus earlier on in the game where that option wasn't available to me, and turning on the sound felt like a struggle to want to do because I don't want to listen to so much things happening. Here's like you're saying it's a positive. For me, it's negative to hear like the chest noise and gunshots in the background and a car zooming past and a plane crashing and like all of those things. I'm like, okay, let's calm down. But it also made it, I think, it would be the obvious, more difficult to play without sound because I don't know where people are coming from. I can't hear footsteps. So thanks to this accessibility option and being able to see, oh, there's a person walking around this vicinity, I know at least they are somewhere around here. That's awesome. And it has been a huge change for me, and I think we've seen it in a lot of Sony first parties where they've added in things like that, but this is the best implementation of that I've experienced so far, where I can play this game no sound, no problem. It is the exact same as I feel of anybody else. I don't think that it hampers anything that I do in there, which is greatly appreciated, as well as just like the fluid motion of things makes it feel like I can keep going, and that momentum does give me a chance. It's going back to, oh, I'm in a golf cart now. I can get around this map, so I don't have to worry about being shot immediately. That's what movement speed is now for this. Like, I don't even need the golf cart because I feel that I'll get out of danger if I need to, right? Like, if I stick around, that's my fault. I could have run, right? And most of the time, when I do run, I'll get out as fast as I can. I can get into a bush and hide. I can climb up a tree, whatever have you. It does feel like you're saying everyone's equal. And that is down to even skill now, because if you play like me where I'm hiding in a bush and I'm waiting it out, like, I don't feel cheap in doing that because they even give you abilities to throw bushes down because they're like, no, just play like that if you want to. Like, don't worry about it.
It's the legitimate kind of strategy of things now is it's changed quite a lot. I mean, we've played just about every different iteration of the game and what the metas are. With there was no tanks at one point, and then planes and all these other things, like the mechs. Yeah, exactly, the mechs as well. Like, there's been so many different things in these games, and now to bring it down to just a bit of kind of shooting and like just what you said about the bringing in different things like Marvel and whatever else, and the idea of like Star Wars now, like every year now there's like these lightsabers and you run about with lightsabers. Like, honestly, I can't get enough of that kind of thing. Like, I just think in Christmas, like, that's coming around the corner as well. Like, and apologies if this stuff makes a wee bit more erratic than usual, but it's just, Fortnite is that. It's exactly that. It's totally like whatever you want it to be. Whenever you feel I genuinely thought that Gary was like completely done. Like, he was a Christmas player. Just generally, actually, like Christmas Eve now, like he'd come on, or he'd maybe like check in and out, like to try and see like for the presents and stuff and all that kind of thing, or come on and just open like all the presents on Christmas Eve, play with us and that, and then maybe keep it on the machine for New Year's Eve or something like that, or a couple of games during the Christmas break. But that was you were kind of down, not down and out with it, but you were kind of like we played enough, weren't you?
I mean, we played it hard for season 2. I think all the way to like season 9 or 10, like that, like something like that. So we went proper hard on that for about a year and a half, I would say.
Yeah.
So we didn't kick the arse at it in my kind of mind. But back then, I don't think they were as quick as like changing stuff, and there was these much modes and stuff like that. But the times I came back the time but it started doing the team deathmatch that you were talking about. I think that was the last time that I came back, and then I took another good break, and I missed all the Star Wars stuff. I can't believe it, but I missed all the Star Wars stuff. Shocking. See, when I see people, excuse me, I see people run about with a Darth Vader, and I know I can't get it. I'm like, you bastards. Terrible.
But see, just
I think
before you keep going, by the way, just while you were talking about that, just to give people an idea here, for season 2 in 2017 to season 9 was 2019, so that was a good 2 years. So just
2 years we were playing it.
You know what I mean? Like, just obviously, I know you said kind of year and a half, but just to kind of get that out, like that's a lot. That's a lot. Sorry, I just wanted to get that in there.
No, that's fine.
After you'd said it.
I think obviously we're bringing back the OG map for this season, which it's a great bit of I don't know, advertising for the game. It just it's so nostalgic. See, as soon as you seen Tilted Towers and all that, I was like, here we fucking go.
Tilted!
And I think the first thing I said to you was when I was playing, I was like, this game, I remember playing this obviously back when I was very I don't know, the movement wasn't very good and all that kind of stuff.
I should have changed the engine, did it?
They changed the engine and stuff, and I was like, it just feels like a completely different game, but with the same map. Like, there's verticality now. You can jump up and grab onto a ledge and lift yourself up, and you can run and you can slide, and it's such an evolving game, and they know. Sometimes it doesn't work, like the time they put the planes in it and everybody was like, fucking get these planes out of this game, but they're good for that because they'll listen, they'll maybe keep the planes up for 2 weeks, then they'll be like, right, let's take them back out, and they'll come back as maybe like a couple of weeks, then take them back out, which I really like that. They actually listen to their core community. And they just keep in all the good stuff, and it's brilliant. It's a great game, and come back with the OG is just what got me come back in. I think the battle pass is actually pretty shit for it. I'm going to be honest. I think that's probably one of the worst battle passes I've probably had in recent future, but recent past. Sorry. I'd still even got anybody in it, like anybody like for a movie or nothing in it, which I was quite a bit disappointed in. But I know they're trying to go for the OG. But it's funny because my nephew was talking to me, like it was last week, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to download Fortnite again because it's got the OG map. It's got the OG map." And I'm like, "Aye." I was playing it, and then I was up at my mum's just there, and he's like, "Can I sign in yours? Because you've got all the OG skins, and I want to play with all the OG skins and the OG map." And I was like, "Aye, that's fine." So he was sitting playing it earlier on. So, it's quite funny to think how far it's came and how long it's been as well. As you said, this thing has got legs, and I don't see it finishing.
No.
This can just go on forever because literally something new comes out and they can go, boom, there you go, there's a battle pass and it's in there. It's I don't ever see it stopping. And the new build is great as well. I love that because I think the problem with the building was when they integrated everybody, especially with PC players, and you knew if you were playing against a PC player because they would fucking build something like straight up, and that'd be you'd be fucked,
Yeah,
which
you just start panicking, and it's just all that hard work that you've done. Like, it feels like you were on like a kind of higher level than you, a different playing field than you, because you were trying. And some people, I mean, I could like build a wee bit, and that's what was kind of good with our group. I think it was kind of like 2As that would kind of build, and then kind of with two people, and yourself and Barry, a friend of mine would join, and he was a kind of running gunner at times as well. So you'd always kind of, as long as you tactically kind of thought about it and not like went gung ho, like you could get a win. But back then, like, I play a lot different now, where it's just like, whatever. But back then, it was like, right, let's go, we would try and get a win, and it would be quite frustrating, like when you were getting to near the end of the night and you'd played for hours, and or like a long game where you spent like the full time like running around the side of the map so that you wouldn't come across that many people, like so you were having like 20, 25 minute, 30-minute games, and then the first team you come across, they would destroy you because they're just naturally better at the game, and you are just try to have a laugh with a couple of drinks or whatever. So I think there's a calling for it where you just have to check in every now and again and try and kind of see what's there. It was just what you were saying about nephews and that as well. Yeah, so we had every time anybody comes over, see, because Gillian's been playing for quite a while, they do the same thing. Like they're like, oh, I go in and log in, like, and she cracks up. The next time she goes to play it, she'll click on, and like, our skins are completely changed and nothing's like what it was before or what it is, because they just love going on and having a look at like what skins like people have got, and like ones that they don't have because they have been playing for ages. Hoodie, sorry, I think you tried to kind of come in a couple of times there, and I'd cut across you, mates.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, circling a little ways back to what Gary was saying about, this person's got Darth Vader or whatnot. Those things are so much fun, of like what you're saying, to get you hooked and bring you back in. Like the Thanos event was so incredible. Okay, all right, this is going to be fun. It's everybody versus one person who has the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, that's insane.
That's cool.
Let's do this.
That's cool.
Things like that are a great way, but also like the collector in me is very much of the mind that this is so well done, and I mean, it's clearly directed for people's mentality like this, to be like, okay, you want Indiana Jones, don't you? Well, guess what? He's in this season, and if you don't get him this season, you'll never get him. And it is that thing of, although I may dislike the rest of the Battle Pass, or I don't like the licensed character that season, Doctor Strange, it is very much, I'll tend to 99% of the time get that season because I want that thing to have. And for the most part, I'll moan and groan about having to get to 100 to get them. But when I do, I like having the ability to look at my locker and be like, oh, look at it, it's Carnage from X season, or it's Ahsoka from the newest, whatever have you. It is like an achievement to have those, and the fact that they don't put them into the store, I think people, I'm on both sides of the argument of, you should let people who didn't get the chance for that season. I lean more towards the side of, but that's what makes it special. Like, if you start putting these things in the store and anybody can buy them, I think it diminishes the achievement that I had to work for to get level 100, to get the Mandalorian at his full armor and Grogu. Like, those things mean something to me when I play Fortnite now. Like, I did that. Like, I have Groot and he's silver. Is he rainbow like everybody else got him? No, but he's silver, and I remember having to work to get that. That's fucking cool. So, like, that part of my collector mentality really likes this game on that level as well. That I think no game has ever done better. The same as, like, you think of how many people have tried to replicate this game with 100%. A live service strategy. How many games shouldn't have been live service games because this is the golden standard. But there is no chance of replicating this, and no matter how many times this industry thinks that it can, it never will. This is lightning in a bottle. I don't think if they even went, let's make Fortnite 2, I don't even think that would work. I think this is such a special, very singularity moment for the games industry that has changed it outside of it in so many bad ways, but for itself, such a great, like, experience. Like, they have this bubble, and within it, they nailed it. Like, it's hard to look at a game and think you really nailed this ecosystem, because it is like Gary says, if something doesn't work, they'll take it out. It's not just done. It's not just fucked. It's over. It sucks now. Like, they can change on the fly. They can do anything. Like, the planes and all of those ideas, like taking those out and replacing them with helicopters, and then the helicopters were fun and they were great and they worked well, versus the planes that sucked and they should have never existed in the first place. Like, there are really fun elements to that make this game, again, so fucking unique. Like, it is the epitome of what a live service game is to me, on a level of, okay, this is like, part of me argues this isn't a live service game as I think of. Generally, I usually go, oh, the Avengers is a live service game. This is a battle royale. These are two separate things. But I guess by industry standards, this is what a live service game should look like, right?
Yeah,
this is what it should do. But I can't. Honestly, I can't even remember not playing Fortnite now. That's how much this is ingrained in my life.
6 years is a long time, and I think a lot of companies and a lot of arms of the industry are definitely going to lose a lot of money trying to replicate this and how this is like come across. I mean, like, you look at other games, right? Like, even look at the games, even just look at the popular games that are like a thing or in the zeitgeist or whatever, that even still don't get the money or the attention that you know, even just looking at kids, right? Because they're the ones that people would tell you anyway that are the ones that, you know, want to spend the most and get the most stuff or whatever, like. But I've got nephews who play like your Robloxes, your Minecrafts, your whatever else, and they certainly don't play the, you know, Minecraft quite as much as they play Fortnite, or want to buy into it as much as what they do with Fortnite. Like, Fortnite is like, no, I need to get the battle pass, and you know, they've got the battle pass, and there's this skin, there's this emote, or my friends get this thing or whatever. Like, it's not that way inclined, and no, not just kids obviously, because they only account for so much of it. But you know, when you look at the same style, where you've got like Rocket League operates under the same idea with the battle pass. Even, by the way, PGA, the game, the golf game that I play, has a thing called a golf pass that renews every so many months or something, and the idea is you're supposed to be leveling up and unlocking things, and they have a free version and a paid version, just the same way that, you know, Fortnite does, where if I pay money to this thing, every lifetime I level up, I'll unlock like more stuff and more unlockables and stuff. Like, it's totally changed the game, but and influencing a lot of, you know, different people's things. But I fear that we're either not going to see a lot of, you know, variety or things, or we're going to end up like where people are going to be chasing this like golden egg scenario that just isn't going to happen.
Well, like Sony currently. I mean,
that comes to mind with factions and that as well. You know, just, you know, no pressing the button. Like, I just feel, you know, again, that's probably even another discussion as well. Factions and the way that it's being handled. I just feel like if you were going to bring out, I don't understand why you just didn't bring out factions way alongside the, you know, the second game, and just let it be, you know, as good as what it was on the first game, you know. And I didn't play factions that much. I think there was maybe a multiplayer trophy, I can't remember, so I don't really have the affinity that other people have. Like, that game could get cancelled tomorrow, and I wouldn't give two fucks about it. It doesn't bother me. But, you know, for what it is, like, you can't hold it back. If the reason you're holding it back is because you want longevity, or, you know, live services isn't the answer. Like, just because Fortnite can do it doesn't mean that anybody can do it.
No.
I mean, how many bodies are laying in the path of Fortnite right now? I mean, you look at Avengers, what I just brought up, it's dead, which sucks, because Ben and I loved that game. Or, I mean, even Division, as successful as 1 was and 2 kind of was, how long did that last before it was like, well, we're done with this? Like, you keep thinking, I mean, I don't know what the wider successes of Destiny as a whole, but Destiny in my mind feels like one of the biggest failures to date. Of this is a game that they have tried to resuscitate thousands and thousands of times, and it's like, well, if it's not working, stop trying. I mean, can you not see the writing on the wall with this? I mean, they've laid off so many people and laid a path of destruction in their wake of that. It's like, why do these companies keep thinking this is a thing? It's like, stop trying to make fetch happen. I don't understand how you can grapple with the idea that you see all of these big property. If the Avengers doesn't work, you know something went wrong. Like, and that's coming out in near the height of Marvel before they've had their downfall, which is happening currently. But it is WB putting out the recent statement of, we're looking into making everything live service. And I'm like, why? You can't even make Suicide Squad yet. I've been waiting for that game what feels like infinity. I want that game. I'm so excited for it. And you keep saying no to it. So, like, if you can't get one game out as a live service, maybe don't make all of your games live service. I just, like you said, it's a bigger conversation, and it would take up a 3-hour podcast on its own. But it is like, Fortnite did a great thing for its own game and a horrible thing for the rest of the industry. They are all chasing this, like you said, a golden egg that honestly doesn't exist.
No.
It was lightning in a bottle.
It really does.
Do you know, talking about this, I just thinking back, like when it was in its heyday, right? Maybe in that kind of year spot, maybe 2 years in, and it was just everywhere, like everywhere. Every shop you went in was Fortnite stuff. My mum and dad would be talking about Fortnite, you know, and they've got no interest. They could name another game, but they could name Fortnite. You know, it's just it just broke so many boundaries that other games just can't. And it's just, I don't ever think, I can never imagine another game is going to be like this. Doesn't matter what kind of game it is. Even Call of Duty, for how much people buy that, FIFA, how much people buy that. That feels like Fortnite just had this special sauce that just broke all boundaries for everywhere, for all angles, for people playing it, to all ages, to just I mean, how many people back in the day where you seen doing dances, and you know, like her auntie was on one of the videos. It was like Lad Bible on Facebook, and it was like when they were trying to do the floss, and it was like people did the floss bad, and her auntie was actually in that video. And it, you know, it's just so much run it at the time, and that has died off. Don't get me wrong, but it's still huge. It's still a huge.
I mean, I argue the point that what other game can put in cars and planes and trains and automobiles of every kind, and then take it all away for one whole season? They just remove everything, and it has more players than ever. Like, insane. It had like 5 million plus concurrent players the first week. That's unbelievable. They took away everything. I mean, down to the shop not even working. They just stripped it all, and it's still massive. Like, that's...
It just goes to show the power of nostalgia that they got, like, so many people back. Like, I mean, I seen that they were doing that OG map thing, and I think I even tagged Gary in it, like, sent it to Gary, like, look what they're doing, kind of thing. Like, we really need to get back into this when it kind of comes, because so what you will have obviously is that level of people returning, and the level of people that were still here are the level of, you know, kids that are wanting to jump in, or, you know, kids talking to their friends as well, and being like, you know, this is what you need, you know, this is what you need to do to see this. And, you know, obviously YouTube has a big influence on things as well, you know, and I was obviously quite, I used to love watching, I was obsessed with watching like Twitch and stuff. I used to watch a lot of the kind of guys playing it. I didn't watch kind of Ninja as much, but even I was kind of hooked on, like, if Ninja went live, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna, me and Mrs. Mac would sit and kind of watch him, and he would, do the pom pom, whatever the hell it was, his, Ninja's daft dance thing or whatever. It went out for the first win that he got. Like, that was like ridiculous. Like, just seeing the level that some people got to. Was another boy, Dakota's, that I would watch just to try and like improve like my game as well. Like watching him at my lunch break and stuff. And I'm in my 20s, like mid-20s, like playing this game. Like, that now it's just like mad popular with kids, and I just don't see like it gone away, because they have them absolutely hooked. For all these different modes. Like I watched my nephew playing Minecraft, and he was playing this game, and he was like, "Oh, it's Bed Wars," and then all of a sudden he's on Fortnite, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to play Bed Wars?" And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, "Oh, it's this," and it's basically like almost like a capture the base type thing, and so it's on this like creative, like, which we haven't even spoke about in this discussion yet, about how they've basically took their game, which was originally supposed to be a zombie game, ended up just going, do you know what, we're going to do a battle royale instead, and then took it and went, do you know what, we're going to open it up for other creators to do like all these different things. And now you've got, and just on the creative side alone, you've got game modes that even we jumped back into, where it was like the prop hunt thing. I mean, that's probably its own topic at this point, with how much we played that and enjoyed it. Hoodie running about his entire like parts of a plane, for a big blimp, big like back party a blimp, to running about as like a wee tiny duck or a water tower or whatever. Like, you see these things and different things. I mean, the first time I seen prop hunt was in Call of Duty, and then months later you see it in this. So you see bed wars in Minecraft, and then they're like, oh, they can do bed wars, or well, so can we. And then, you know what I mean? So they just, all they're going to do is evolve and evolve. Like, you look at, we mentioned in the start of this conversation about, oh, when you die, that's you. And that was a level of difficulty spike that would put people off, because it's like, oh, I'm just sitting here. I'm not doing it, and I'm just sitting here. And that was probably a deterrent for, Mrs. Mac as well, in terms of playing like she would start it and she would die, and then she'd be sitting there for ages, because we used to have a rule that if you died in the first, what was it? I can't remember exactly. If you died right away, then we would all back out and we'd start again. If you died in the first 5 minutes or whatever, we would all back out and we'd just queue up again. That's what we used to do when me and Gary and that would play. And now, like, you have the vans, the reboot vans, that they didn't think of that themselves. That was for what was the game I mentioned earlier? What was that thing? The EA game.
God.
Why can I think it?
Oh, Jesus.
Apex.
Aye.
Apex.
Oh,
that was Apex.
Yeah.
That came with that.
Man.
I know, terrible, man. It's not even.
The game.
It's not even that late, and I've mentioned it earlier. So Apex came up with the sliding mechanic, and the reboot vans, and all of a sudden you get the same thing, and in Fortnite, and you get 50 health at one point. You used 50 shield you used to get is default at one point, and it's just, they make all these different tweaks. And Hoodie, you mentioned something a wee second ago about Destiny, and it got me thinking there about, like, what is it that Destiny's got that they've maybe like pulled from and stuff. And I think in a way you could maybe attribute, the special game modes that they put in every once in a while, and it's like that big, like you're doing like the different
Sludge boss.
the different zones, and then the different waves or whatever, and then all of a sudden you're fighting like a big boss. I feel like that's almost similar to like how Destiny did it with the strikes, or the whatever it is, raids or whatever it is that they call it, where it's like multiple different levels ramped up to like one big boss at the end. Like, the fact that that Fortnite can just put that in, like, annually, and then, as you say, just take it away, like, everybody's hooked on this game mode, and then it's like, right, okay, well that's that done. So just back to what you were doing, and we'll bring something else later, or we'll bring the other thing back. Like, I don't know any other game that could even remotely do that. Yeah, it's like playing.
Oh yeah.
Imagine you're playing Speedstorm and they're like, we're just going to take away the cars. You're just going to run. You're just going to run now. It's like what? It's like,
Yeah.
like, all right, thanks.
Well, I mean, it's so impressive how they don't only just kind of seamlessly blend different genres into this game and take, the best parts and sometimes the worst parts of other games to test that out within their platform.
Yep.
But they also have taken other industry ideas that really work. I mean, going down to taking a thing away and bringing it back, the McRib comes to mind of like, you know how popular this thing is, so you remove it for like 90% of the year, and then you just randomly drop it, similar to what they do with Star Wars, right? Like,
Yep.
putting in those lightsabers, that gives them a bump. People jump in, they're like, oh, I want to be Darth Vader for a day. That it is that sense of marketing that works so well for them that I don't think anybody else understands how to do either, which is another interesting part of why Epic and Fortnite are so, like, seamless in their marketing and how well they do that. And I don't know what their strategy is on leaks. I know there are some companies that will intentionally leak things to get kind of the hype drummed up, but even the amount of excitement people get from like, oh, this thing's gonna be in it, like they haven't even announced it and they're like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god. And they're like planning, they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go immediately to get this in the shop. I mean, the recent one was Jack Skellington, when that was being passed around as a rumor and then it was a leak, and then they're like, oh shit, Jack Skellington's, and like, that's insane. Like, I bought Jack Skellington. You got me. Good job. I was hyped. And I think that also plays into what I'm saying of them taking from other industries. Of, look at Nike, right? Nike releases a mint shoe that is like printed and sold. I mean, you would know best, Gary. You're the sneakerhead. Of, here's this limited edition shoe that you will never get again, and you will never see it. Get it now, right? That pulls back to what I'm saying of the collector in me is so, like, itching to get this thing that nobody else will ever have. Like, that is a part of the fun game of it. I mean, the Vans that I have, from like my exclusive Deadpools to my NASA shoes, like those things that I know that nobody can get, and if they try to get it, will be like marketed up to an insane amount on eBay. They figured that out, that you can't even market it again. Like, it's just gone if you don't get this. And I think that is so smart on their marketing division. Like, that is another part of what makes this great. I think a lot of games will go, well, we just need to make Fortnite. No, you also need to have the brains behind it. Like, the developers are incredible, but you need the people who are selling this thing. The way they sell this game is so, like, I think underrated. I don't think people appreciate the way that they get this shit out there. Like, it is really crazy.
Just on that, it's like as I said to him about my nephew, it's funny, like, him watching him today, and he's looking through all my skins, and I've not got loads, but I've obviously got all the first ones, and he's sitting picking all the pure wee shitey skins, we're just pure throwaway skins that you get in like the second season, third season. And he's like, oh, this is amazing. Oh, I wish I had this skin. I wish I had this skin, and it's like the night, like literally like just the plain blue squire that you go, like literally like maybe in your first 10 levels or something like that. Or I don't even know if it was that many back then. He's literally like, oh, this is amazing. Oh, this is a pure OG skin, and you're just like, this, it's pure throwaway skins that you don't even think about, but just other people love, and it's through that entire thing. I think that's something that they get is just, we've said it before, we've said it in this, but the seasons are like, here's a season for you. You can jump out, you can go in, you can, if this isn't for you, you can go away, come back when there's something for you, and they just get it, and they just get it. And
Right.
I think it unfortunately just came at a time for me when we did play for the 2 years, and I think it's literally as soon as we stopped, that's when they started bringing licensed stuff in. It's literally, I think literally I got the Deadpool, and then I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Deadpool and Thor, that's the only 2 licensed ones I got, and then I just was out. And then that's when they started bringing all the licensed stuff in. So it was just an unfortunate timing for myself. I was just the test player at the start for the last 2 years. Making sure this game was good for everybody else, and I got all the shite.
I mean, if you think about playing into what you're saying with like the night stuff, it is another again, I'm fully up Epic's ass at this point, but like thinking about how they label these skins from like the iconic series, they say this is chapter 1 season 2, like having those little descriptions make it feel like an issue print of a comic that had a variant that you just can't get now, and there were like you're 5 of 96, right? Like having that level of a stamp on it to approve this thing is one of a kind also makes it feel way more unique the more and more they kind of detail those things. Because I do look in the shop, right, and they'll be like, here's this iconic series emote from season 1 chapter 5, and then they give a description of like, it's again, the marketing behind this is so well done, of like they're selling it in very subtle ways that doesn't make you feel like you're wasting money, but you feel like you're collecting something that could one day just go up in flames and it's all gone and we never get anything back and we've just spent $10,000. But it is very much the idea in the moment that you're not thinking about that. I mean, Ben and I and all of us have had this conversation where I'm not thinking V-Bucks is another great marketing strategy that I know other people had done before, but for them, it almost feels like monopoly money. Like you're spending real money to get those V-Bucks, but once you have them, you're like, oh, it's only 500 V-Bucks? That's essentially like paper. Like that doesn't matter. They're very good at what they do, and that ecosystem they've created is far beyond just making a game. It is, they're very smart.
See, like recently, like obviously when we came back to play this season and the OG stuff and that, I was like, oh God, Gary had said about the battle pass, and I thought, you know what, we're probably going to be playing this enough that I'm going to be like, I'm just going to get this, and whether I do or I don't, it didn't matter at the time, because I'm thinking, well, it's, I don't know how much 900 is for us, it's maybe £7-8 I think it is, but I was like, but what if I want a skin, you know what I mean, maybe I may as well just paying the £12 or whatever the next one is up, so that I've got a couple of thousand sitting there just in the bank ready for, you know, and where does it stop? Because I'm sure I've bought at one point the far expensive, no the biggest one, but like I'm sure there's been times where I've wanted like a 20 something thingy skin in the battle pass at the same time, so I've probably bought at times like 20 quid, and you think to yourself, like, that's like you're not getting a new, it's not a new game. Like you can trick yourself into saying, well, I would have bought a game with that, or I would have bought this with that, so I don't really mind because I'm going to get the battle pass this season and I want that skin, so I'm going to buy that, you know, the Star Wars stuff or whatever. So you drop £20 in and you get all these points, and then all of a sudden you've spent them, and then, you know, the next month comes along and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy that one instead, and you never equip that skin ever again. You know, I've got you know what I mean, I've got Kratos sitting there that I don't use anymore. Like I can't remember the last time I equipped that. Don't know how much I spent on that. You know, and all the Star Wars stuff, like it's ridiculous how much you get kind of hooked in. I did want to ask actually, Hoodie, because you're probably a wee bit more tuned in than we are. I don't know if you know, because I'm sure I've ran about with a lightsaber at Christmas time, but as Christmas around about Christmas when they bring the kind of Star Wars like things, or is it Star Wars Day, like May the 4th type season? Like what period? Both, right? Okay, so is it always Christmas they bring the lightsabers?
So
I think
for the
one
last
of them
three
was for the
Christmases,
Mandalorian or something, was it? No.
Oh, right.
One of them was for the Mandalorian coming out, which was near the Christmas one time.
Right.
Yeah. So for the last 3 Christmases, they have brought that out, but they also do the May the 4th in the shop.
Right.
And
Okay.
with May the 4th, they don't necessarily always put in the lightsabers. The
Right.
Christmas is where they generally put the lightsabers in. But yeah,
Right. Okay.
you'll get the big bump of new characters as well, which usually happens.
Right.
Also, like a side note, what a great Christmas game! Like
It's
we were
perfect.
talking about it last year or some about, oh, what's a good Christmas game? And Miles Morales seems to be the one that comes up, but
Yeah.
like, reckon Fortnite is a great Christmas game.
Yeah, well, if they do the map
Yeah,
right, like especially with this
Yeah.
OG one, like they obviously already have it. We are the snow and stuff, but it used to be like the entire map was filled with snow. Like now in years gone past, it's not quite as much, but I'm pretty positive that a lot of the green will be kind of turned to the thing, and then they had the bushes and they had the Christmas lights through the bushes and stuff like that back then as well. Like they had a lot of things like that out, and then obviously the snowmen, and you could obviously like turn into a snowman and stand still, and that was like its own thing, like his ridiculous the amount of different things that you could do between the snowman and the bush, and you only dressed as a bush, like you were the bush. Like it's just it's absolute class.
Even the 12 Days of Christmas.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, I mean, what other game do you know that you're like, oh, by the way, there's this, like, you're going to put the game on and you're in like a fictitious house, and you have all these unlocks. Every present is an unlock. It's not a gimmick. It's not like find 5 pieces and then you get an unlock. Like every one of them is. I mean, I know a lot of them is like the spray paints or like the wee emotes that you throw up into there that you don't really use, but it's still for nothing. Like you don't have to buy a battle pass. You don't have to do anything. You just have to literally log in and open a present every day. And or you can turn it on near the end and open all the presents all at once. Like it doesn't matter. All they're trying to do with that kind of gimmick is go like, you're going to come back every day, like, and even if you miss a day, like, you're not going to get put off by the fact that you missed a day, because then you'll have 2. You know what I mean? It's not like you have to come back.
Oh, absolutely.
It's you're going to come back. It's just a matter of when, as opposed to if. And I think that's pretty much like the magic sauce that Fortnite has. It's not only at Christmas, but it's also like any given season, as you said, Gary. Like, you might not want this season, but you might check it out. You might watch we've had a few like impromptu watch parties for the end of the season, like where I've been playing a game of FIFA, and Hoodie and Ben and MrMac are doing the end event, for the end of a season. And it goes into like a blank screen or a cut scene, and then it's just literally nothingness for a day. Like, who does that?
Good.
What other game would get away with being what other game would be like, oh, by the way, like, come and finish a season with us, like, you're not actually going to be able to play tonight, but if you play for like a wee bit until we turn the servers off, we'll show you a cutscene, and then we're literally going to turn the game off for a day or whatever, and then you can play it again. Like, we're just going to turn the whole thing off, like, while we update it all, like, and we're not actually going to tell you what's next until, you know what I mean, like, until we show you the trailer or whatever. Like, and it's like it's not even a trailer, it's an actual event. Like, I mean, how have we not even spoke about this? Like, concerts, there's actual concerts in this game.
That's another one.
Like a proper concert. Like, what limitless possibilities that this game has. New Year's as well. Like, every
for movies.
Every hour, every hour there's the ball drops and it counts down and it's Happy New Year. And it's like
so good.
It's the fact that you've got a place. It's not like place. I'm likening it a wee bit to like a PlayStation Home thing, but it's like it's far beyond what it is. It's not a game. It's a place to hang out where you're also playing a game. That's what it feels like to me.
Oh, honestly, it really is the best hub for people in a party chat. Like, there is no rival to it. I'll just jump into Fortnite with Matt, Phil, you, Gary, anybody, and just feel like, well, I don't think we won a single game, but I've been having fun the entire time.
Doesn't need to be out. Doesn't need to be a win. Absolutely not. Right, I don't want to. I don't want to. I mean, honestly, I think we could probably talk about a million other things in this topic and keep going. But anybody get any kind of closing thoughts on it before we shuffle along to Hoodie's one? I think we've pretty covered it pretty well. But Gary, you got something?
I want some Demon Slayer skins. Get him fucking done. I know what animes we've had Attack on Titan. We've had. What else we have? We had My Hero Academia. We had that other one that I've not watched. The one that like they do like the sign language with their fingers and make magic happen. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Juju Kinishu or something like that. I don't even know what it's called. So it's time. We need some Demon Slayer.
What about like a One Punch Man type thing? Like, you sure they could?
Oh, aye, of course,
model him for a special event.
State for me.
A special event. I'd say it was more like that. Who's that wrestler? That's what you kind of look like there, with the one that turns all the lights out and walks out with the lantern. What's his name again? Bray Wyatt.
Steve Austin.
Definitely get a Bray Wyatt. Get a Bray Wyatt look about you with that beard. Hoodie, if you get any closing comments on this topic?
Yeah, similar in vein to Gary. Please, I'm begging you, put Chainsaw Man in there. Give me Chainsaw Man or Power, either one. I'll take them both. I love this series, and I want to play as him, and I want the chainsaw to be dynamic, and I want the pickaxes to be his hands. I don't want him to be holding a chainsaw. Just give me it. Like, let me play as Denji.
That's it.
Just do it.
Wee dog.
The possibilities
Wee dog
are...
with the chainsaw as a backbling.
Your backbling? Yeah. Oh. Oh. No!
The possibilities are endless. I mean, I was thinking there, how could you get some really, out there possibilities, and obviously you've got the kind of bobble versions of them, the Funko kind of versions of them, so you could cartoonize them. But I was thinking, how funny and quirky would it be if you could, get some of your favourite TV show ones, a wee bit of the US Office, a wee bit of Dwight and Jim and that. Like, I think that'd be quite a kind of... I mean, obviously it's just maybe a step too far with Dwight running about and shooting people. But
I don't know, man.
It's
every time one of us says that, we get Jack Skellington.
Yeah, absolutely. The possibilities are 100% endless. So Prison Mike. That's exactly. That's you could evolve. Hairless Michael Scott in the first season, where he's gelled back hair, and suddenly you get
every kill you get, he grows more hair.
Aye, that's it.
His wee emote can just be, "That's what she said."
God, I would love that. Oh, his back bling as a Death Eater.
Aye, exactly. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. There you go.
Man. Fortnite. Great topic, man.
Fucking Fortnite, exactly. I'm glad with a good session with that there. And if you see our wee tweet with the promotion for this episode, and you got this far, leave a wee comment of what you think would be an out there suggestion, or a really cool suggestion, because I'd love to see even just the three of us just quickly spitballing there. We come up with some fun ones that's quite exciting. So I'd love to see what other people's possibilities are. So I definitely drop some things below.
If Epic want to sponsor us, we're here for some free V-Bucks.
$3, exactly. That's no free V-Bucks, by the way, so don't be at it there. No. We'll set our lawyer about you. Free, the word free. Right. Second topic. Our Hoodie is bringing a cracker to the table. Let's take it away.
All right, let me tell you what. Now, I thought long and hard about this, because I was split.
I'd like to know the origin more than anything else is what I'm interested in. Wow.
Yeah. So this is going to be a long roundabout. It started out as me thinking. We were talking about Sydney Sweeney, who's an actor in Euphoria. She's in other things. Oh, The White Lotus. And then it was me making a joke. What if Sydney Sweeney was related to Sweeney Todd? and this whole thing has been a ploy for people to like adore her to get them to go visit her brother as Sweeney Todd, the barber on Fleet Street or wherever the hell he's from, and so. And then I was like, oh, that's a funny joke. That's a good joke. And then I watched the episode of The Office where they had
so
Sweeney Todd.
Mm-hmm.
My head was like, you know, it's a really weird thing that when you watch it, you don't really think about. He's eating people. Like, people are eating people in this, and I don't walk away from that movie or that musical thinking about that, honestly. Most of the time, it's, you know what? That had good music. Joanna, you know, like I'm never in that headspace. So then I thought, that's really fucked up, man. He's eating people. These are cannibals. Even worse, he's feeding people to people without their consent. So then I thought, what if they did have consent? What if Sweeney Todd's restaurant was the last restaurant on Earth? Would you eat there? There are no other restaurants. You can go to the grocery store, you can get food, but there are no other restaurants you can go to where they will prepare any meal you want, except it's by Sweeney Todd, and you'll all know the ingredients. You have consent to go. Do you?
Please take it away. I'm happy.
So on this, you're aware of the meat, or you're aware of what you're eating.
So yeah. Also, I would like to asterisk. I know Sydney Sweeney, right? Sweeney's her last name, and Sweeney Todd is his last name. I understand that, but that was my thought process when I was having the fun joke. Just so we're clear before I get into the rest of it. Yes, you are aware of what he is serving as ingredients to whatever meal you want, he will make, but you know where it's coming from. It ain't vegan.
I think it's hard to like, because when I'd said I always tell Jillian what the topics are. In fact, she actually wanted to. She keeps asking me when we're recording if there's any way that she can not join the podcast but join the Discord just to listen. And I said, I wouldn't mind. But there's no way that you'd be able to sit on mute and listen to us without unmuting and chiming in to some of these topics. So I always tell her the topics beforehand, and I forgot verbatim what Hoodie's was. I just remembered that it was about, like, would you eat for like Sweeney Todd's place, and she just started to laugh. She's like, of course that's what Hoodie's one is. She's like, what a random thing. She's like, of course I wouldn't. And I forgot to say to her, it wasn't until I went back to look on, and I did eventually say to her that it was actually like, it's no would you eat full stop, it's would you eat if it was the last restaurant. I don't know if you need to take it like further to force my hand by saying, like, if that was your only option of like getting some food, because it's still like if it's just, I just wouldn't go to a restaurant then if that was the only place. Do you know what I mean? Like to eat it. You know what I mean? It's hard today. It's so hard.
You know what? There's no protein at these grocery stores, all right? It's just veggies. You know what? You redefine the question. Do you want to be a vegan or do you want to eat Sweeney Todd's? Is down the line.
Okay. I knew I was talking myself into something, and when he said there was only vegetables, I'm like, he's going to take that one further and say about veganism. So I did kind of see your move coming, but that it was going to get restricted.
To be fair, in the movie, I think everybody loves the pies.
Well, that's true.
They love him. He's a great chef. That's why I said that this is the person I'm picking, because it's enticing. It's not Hannibal Lecter, right? This is, by all intents and purposes, people like him. Seems like a nice guy.
That's true. I mean, Hannibal Lecter did serve he did serve a 5. It was almost like a Michigan Michelin. Michelin, thanks.
Yeah.
Level meal when he served those cheeks. It was actually like human cheeks that he was serving. So
That's true.
He does have a touch of class about him, but I didn't. I never felt enticed by his meals quite like I wanted one of the pies that I seen in Sweeney Todd. Like those were definitely like filled to the brim with something. So I'm with you there in terms of what can be what can entice you. Man, vegan or
I also
people, that's what it comes down to.
I'm just saying.
Which eat a person?
I'm just saying the argument is essentially like, if his thing was what, he was a barber and then he like cut people's hair, but more than that, and then they like fell through a chute or something. Was that?
That was effectively it. People went for a haircut and. To be fair, he did give them a haircut and then he finished it off with
humane is what you're saying.
Exactly. He at least dressed them up before putting them down the chute and feeding them to the street salad. I think. What you thinking, Gary? Like, where does your mind go?
I'm thinking to myself, I wouldn't have got to this fucking restaurant myself. That's my first thing.
Okay, stop shit at the front. Like, no, you need to go in the back. Like, no, I fucking don't.
you need a wee haircut before you get a pie. No. Do you know? It's hard. It's a hard one. It's a conundrum. Do you know? I think if I didn't know, you would just go, wouldn't you? Because you just wouldn't. You wouldn't know. I think having the knowledge, seen it, and knowing what
you don't see it. I'll tell you what. You just know. You just know.
I think that would even just put me off. Honestly, I think it would. I've always said that. Like I'm a meat eater in real life, and no in the Sweeney Todd life. I don't really want to see when it comes to me. You know what I mean?
Aye.
I don't want to think about that age yet. And I think that would be the same. I would be like, if Sweeney Todd's up to something.
Aye, I think
the whole knows he's eating people.
The whole idea, like, it's obviously we're programmed initially like to know each other. That's like quite a good safety feature. Quite a good safety feature we've managed to incorporate that we're generally not supposed to do that.
It was a long
journey,
but we got there.
Aye, we do. we hunt and eat just about everything else on the planet, but thankfully know each other, so it's hard to know.
Some years.
It's hard to like be like, if you would even have the stomach for it. Like, I mean, I know, like, growing up when we never used to eat like a lot of red meat or anything like that. A rare occasion you'd have like roast beef or something, but we never used to really eat red meat. So got to my friend's house and they'd be serving like, like a beef joint where there's like a lot of kind of pink in the middle. I remember once like being served that and they gave me like what they deemed to be the best piece, the reddest and pinkiest bit, and I felt so ill even just looking at it. I think I ate around about it and ate like whatever else they had and then cut that bit up so they didn't realise like how much like I wasted, and then I just put it in the bin because I was like I just couldn't eat that. So I guess where I'm going with that is like I just, even if it was like the only place to eat, I just can't see like me having the stomach for it, as much as I jokingly want to be like, I fuck it, give me it, the pie's like delicious.
The only caveat to that, we've got to think, like, we're thinking this through a modern lens, whereas you're talking about this was supposed to be like 150 years ago probably. So you've got to think back then it's fucking
Great Depression.
Exactly. Fucking, you'd be lucky if you did eat your own way in the kind of days. You know what I mean?
I suppose you probably put a good rider on that actually there, that it's not like you're going to have like, the free from section at Tesco. You know what I mean? Like you got the local supermarket that has here's all the vegan stuff. You know what I mean? Like
It's like rotting cabbage with like a fucking fly stuffed in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
now hear me out. You close your eyes. You put yourself into this mindset. You go, okay, wow, I smell McDonald's. I'm walking in. There's some fries frying. You go up to the counter. You're like, I'll get a large fry. I'll get a large fry. Some salt on there. Yum. And a Big Mac. Oh, wow. It's got the special sauce on it. It's got the 2 patties. Oh, wow. The cheese, the lettuce. You sit down. What's the difference? All the difference is the hamburger's name was once Kevin. Now, you sit there, you take a bite of Kevin. Your Big Mac.
I'm not going to lie, Gary. He's selling me on it here. He's selling me
That
on
roof
it.
is watering.
Aye. I might have to
Kevin was an accountant, all right? What does Kevin matter?
Aye. Because it opens it up to like the whole idea of the just thinking there about the office, because you said about Kevin, you could have Kevin for the office and mixed in, he's chili, he's famous chili. Kevin's chili. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the chili just could be just chilied Kevin. You know what I mean? So.
All I'm saying is, do you walk into a McDonald's? Do you order 7 Kevin's chili? What are you doing? What are you doing?
It sounds like you're definitely on the side of fuck it, I'm eating, Hoodie. Is that what I'm getting?
I'll reveal at the end where I am. I'll reveal at the end.
It feels like we're being duped here, that we're going to end up, we're going to agree to it, and he's like, all right, well, you've just signed consent. I'm actually opening the restaurant next week. Like,
I mean, I think if you're in starvation mode, I mean, there's literally been these cases, isn't there? Like the people who crashed. What was it? Was it American football team or was it a football team? I can't remember. It was.
Wasn't it a rugby team?
Was that what it was? A rugby team? And they crashed and they literally ate the people that died. Purely out of starvation, and it's like, if you're in that circumstance and somebody's sitting a Big Mac in front of you,
all the difference is Kevin. It's all the difference.
You know what? You're talking me into it, Hoodie. You certainly are.
I'm converted.
You walk into a Nando's, let me tell you what. That peri peri chicken. Well, his name was Perry.
That's it, Perry. Perry chicken. I think I'm in.
Yeah, I think so as well, unfortunately.
All right. Well, Vault Dwellers audience, it looks like Sweeney Todd has 2 new customers, because no way on fucking earth would I go to that restaurant. I'd rather die. Feed me to the people.
I'd eat a Hoodie. That's fine. I'll eat a Hoodie. I think it's just that what Gary says. Like I was dead against until he said, like, but you have to think about it back then. Like you're going to have the options.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you don't have the option,
either that or a plague-ridden rat.
Aye. Yeah, exactly. So just
Ratatouille.
It just doesn't seem like there's going to be another way around that. But I really enjoyed that that topic. I don't know if you've got anything else to add to that, but I really enjoyed that as a good cleanser, because obviously some episodes. Excuse the fun. Yeah, excuse the fun. Aperitif.
Yeah. My closing statement is definitely Sidney Sweeney, great, totally big fan. Listen, in no way affiliated with Sweeney Todd. Had nothing, not even the same last name. Not even the same last name or first name.
No, definitely no.
And please don't eat people.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But you know what? That's a better closing statement.
Aye.
Please don't eat people.
Aye.
Don't do that.
We don't endorse it.
No, we don't. They do. I don't.
We maybe try, but We don't endorse it, maybe try it.
Maybe if it was the last thing. Oh dear.
Also, McDonald's doesn't sell people named Kevin. Trust me.
No, they definitely don't. They
No.
definitely don't.
Mm. This was all hypothetical, allegedly, in my
100%.
opinion.
So that was us for that was our second topic there. Before we move on to our Gary's topic, we started a wee bit early in the night, so that's why we've kind of chosen one of the shorter topics as well. I actually thought Fortnite was going to be the same, just because we've got other commitments first thing in the morning. So obviously we appreciate our Hoodie for coming on early too, just as we're passing on to Gary. So I do appreciate the selection of topics that we bring together, because I think it's endless at this point. 100% it's endless. So I actually really enjoy that. But Gary, why don't you debut our third and final topic?
So, coming up to that time of year, the most happiest time of the year.
Thanksgiving.
Now, exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. We're on the 10th. We're on the 10th of November. And that's it. Here it comes, people. When is it acceptable? When is it acceptable to Christmas? I just left this very open. I thought, because I felt like it was Christmas songs. I think I started this way. I think, and I thought to myself, do you know what? It's not just Christmas songs, but it's Christmas songs, Christmas movies, Christmas presents, Christmas. When do you put your decorations up? So it's just, when is it acceptable to Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
So, Hoodie, I don't know why. I just feel like I want to start with you in this conversation. I just
Thank
feel
you.
like. There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling really good about this topic. Because I'll tell you what, I got a strategy. I got a plan. Okay? November 1st, it's acceptable to accept Christmas, all right? Bring it into your life. Have a little joy. You only get 2 months of it out of the year. Take advantage, okay? You go November 1st, we're welcoming Christmas movies. We're welcoming Christmas music. It's happening, you guys. We can enjoy these things. They're not 1 month a year. Why are we limiting our happiness? What's going on here? Okay? You start there. You start slow. You build up. You go around the 10th, maybe the 12th. Introduce buying presents. You get that done early. Then you don't have to stress around Christmas time. You're like, oh, okay, I'm going to get my presents in now. I'm going to write my Christmas cards. I'm going to get it all done. It's all good. You're getting in the spirit. You're building it up. You maybe watched 1 or 2 movies, maybe Home Alone, maybe a Trains, Planes, and Automobiles. Who knows? Then, on the 25th, the day after Thanksgiving, which everybody celebrates around the world, you go, okay, it's time. We introduce the cocoa, we introduce the decorations, we introduce everything. The 25th is the day that it truly begins, and you can do whatever you want for Christmas. You just build it all out. It's all, you go let loose. But I'm just saying, it's a gradual build. You got to get yourself in the mood. Don't limit your happiness, okay? Also, like I said, preparation is key. You don't want to be stressed at the holidays. You want that whole month to relax in December. Get an early start. Get it all done. Go get your SpongeBob action figures. Go get your little RC cars. Go get your Mandalorian helmets. Get them all boxed up, wrapped. Put them in an attic somewhere. Get ready. Then you have the whole month of December. Relax, rest, sit in some snow. Make a snowman. To be your best friend. Watch Frozen.
I think I think it's I'll be the fucking bah humbug. So
oh my God, the Grinch over here.
No, I think I definitely like, because I'm lumped with Gary. He definitely brings on Christmas sooner than what it should, but he also obviously like he is the big influencer, but also Jillian's sister as well, who actually has both her trees up already, is like a big kind of believer in the early Christmas decorations. Like, I like to get to November, and that's when I like to start being like, right, it's Christmas presents time. Like, I don't have like as many people as what like say Gary does. He kind of does it as he goes along. Like I'm starting to get a few more people with my sister having a wee boy this year. We've got kind of two to get for our side and two on Jillian's in terms of the kids. So we're just going to kind of do the kids only this year, and maybe the parents or something. But we're just trying to kind of limit it a wee bit before it ends up going crazy. But I like to start thinking about it in November and trying to kind of think of what we're going to do and make the kind of Christmas plans and stuff. But I don't know. I think it's with the type of job that I've got as well. Like I just can't really think about like Christmas because I just start to definitely like wind down and chill out, and I don't quite have it's a different kind of drive for us around about like Christmas time because it's the only time like the place will shut down like for almost 2 weeks. Like it's a complete full stop on the year, and then you kind of go again in the new year. So
there's actually an argument that you actually get a bit busier at Christmas, isn't there? Really?
Oh, we definitely do. I always say that to my colleagues and stuff. Like anytime we try and like, because the council and that like they kind of things like they don't have like a lot of them will like put jobs on like over the Christmas break. Like we end up getting a lot of work sometimes for like Network Rail and stuff. Like they'll want like to do work Christmas, even like such like Christmas Eve work and stuff, like where the travel like where trains and stuff are very limited services, so you get like a longer time to be able to like install stuff, because it's like a default that people are going to be going home and like everything's going to be like getting thingied off early and stuff. So in terms of public transport, so for a work perspective, like we do tend to get really busy, so it definitely has an influence, I think, on like what in the mood, or how in the mood I get. But in saying that, like Mrs. Mac's quite good because she'll take a notion for Christmas films, and I think from around about now, like I'm like, do you know what, like it's Sunday, like just fling on a Christmas film. I do prefer to have it be in like December, when it comes to like decoration stuff, or at least the last weekend in November is what I'll kind of break out the tree and kind of get it ready. But I do typically kind of stick to December. I just still feel like, I know Halloween's byway, but I just feel like this is like not quite winter. I know November is, but it's still that kind of autumny. It's getting cold, but it's just December's the winter and Christmas month. So I always feel like December's the kind of time, because it's long enough. You've got 4 weeks of watching Christmas movies and doing different things and songs and stuff like that. But it does get hard to avoid when every time you go into the shop, like right after Halloween, it's like poof, Christmas. Like here's all the stuff, and here's all the lights and the trees and whatever else. Like, but I think it just depends. Like any given year can be different. I'm quite looking forward to getting the tree out of the cupboard and getting all that sorted, because we do make an event out of it usually. I'll do one bit and Jillian does the other bit now, so we don't end up falling out at each other and arguing. It's supposed to be a nice happy time, so we take it in turns. I'll build the tree usually, and then I pass it over to Jillian, and after we do the lights.
Let me tell you, putting that tree up, most stressful thing you can do in a relationship together.
100%, aye, 100%. If we get this big stupid super tree a couple of years ago, it's humongous. It's like you only should see it in like a shopping centre. It's just ridiculous, the size of it, and like I can't even like put the lights on myself. I genuinely have to pass it like, so I'll be holding the lights and I have to pass it to Gillian, and then I have to put my arm round the tree to get it off of Gillian. So it's not even like, right, you stand at one side and I'll stand at the other side. Like, we genuinely have to like lean and pass these lights around this massive tree. And in fairness, she's got it looking good. We do usually we put it up, and it does usually look pretty decent. It's a lot fuller than the trees that we used to get, so but I'm happy with it. Excuse me, sorry. So it's again just a timing thing. I think if you get me when the mood kind of strikes, I'll definitely join in on the festivities there. Well, you've seen there, Hoodie. I sent a message to the WhatsApp group that he's obviously just seen there, but like Gary sees the stream as it's live, and a video. Audio listeners will know have seen obviously what I've done, but on the screen, if you go on YouTube, we're in a bit now, which is 2 hours and 10 minutes ish. I've put some Christmas hats, one on Hoodie, and one on the Vault Dwellers sign that I'll keep on for the next episode. So, I've definitely got some festive cheer about me. It's just, it's just sometimes you've got
I hid that way.
I definitely do hide it away. Like Gary's trying to get us to wear Christmas jumpers, and that was at the 18th of November.
Let me tell the story. Gary and Sean, no seen each other in person in a good while, So we're trying to arrange a wee date with myself, Sean and Ryan and the good ladies, and we're like, right, so the 18th, which can't be the 18th, Ryan's working, so it looks like it's going to be 25th of November.
No, but don't move it. It was supposed to be the 18th.
It was supposed to be 18th, right. But it was 18th or the 25th was always on the plate.
It was 18th at one point, so.
I said, well, let's make it a wee Christmas jumper day. Everybody's like, aye.
No, everybody wasn't saying aye.
Ryan's like fucking Scrooge and all, and he was like, do you know what? I'll give you that one. Let's do it. But no, here comes fucking Ebenezer. I'm no fucking wearing a Christmas jumper in November. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me on? November. The end of November. That's when everybody's having their Christmas parties.
It was the middle.
Oh, middle mass.
18th.
Middle mass.
It was the 18th. And I just went, no chance. Not a chance am I wearing a Christmas jumper out and about. I don't like wearing jumpers to begin with, to be honest. You know, the only reason I don't mind like other people saying, like, I wear these the novelty hats that I wear on stream. Like, I wear them into the office, like on like special occasions, like St Andrew's Day, the tartan, like we do like charity events and stuff. And
just a normal Friday.
Just a normal Friday. I wear the chili hat. It's Chili Tuesday. Wear that in. But I've got like the big Jimmy hat for getting in and for St Andrews and wearing something tartan and so I'm wearing stuff in front of colleagues and that people are like, what the fuck is he doing? But I just don't like the jumper, the Christmas jumper, because we have a Christmas jumper day at work. I've got quite a good one actually for this year. It's a turkey with like a kiss on where like its arse would be, like it's. So I guess up there, and then it says, "Talk turkey to me," like as if like talk dirty to me, but it's a turkey. Really, really good. So I'm hoping that I'll win the best Christmas jumper this year, for my talk turkey to me. But
can't wait to see it the 25th.
I'll show you I'll show you a photo of it. So I think I don't really like I say, I don't like wearing jumpers, so because I end up just too warm. Like, I'm quite a warm person. So like I even on like Christmas jumper day in work, like I'll wear the jumper in, but it's generally like I'm like, I just have to take this off. Like it's just far too warm. So if I go out and about to somewhere uptown or whatever, or wherever we end up, I'll just end up warm, and then I just get that so agitated. Like I just get so fucking. I'm like, I'm not comfortable, I'm too warm, I'm no like, it's just too distracted, like I just don't enjoy it, so Aye, that's my
Like
reason.
fucking big Grinch.
That's my reason.
Fucking his heart's grown fucking smaller there. Every word he's pulling out
That
here.
is. That is.
I don't like Christmas jumpers.
No, I don't.
Christmas
Absolutely don't.
time.
Who's who? Aye.
Right, I'll just go. But there was something we never brought up, but I'll put that at the end. So for me, I think Christmas, obviously for us. By the way, Thanksgiving, we don't do Thanksgiving. Hoodie, it's a wee surprise for you there.
No, that can't be true.
So National Turkey Day is day for us in here in November. That's in December. So after Halloween we've got Guy Fawkes night. I never did it.
November, the 5th of November.
Which is
Exactly.
our favourite person's birthday.
Yep,
Guy Fawkes.
that is.
Guy Fawkes.
Yep, that's right.
It's not his birthday. Do you know? Fun enough, just as a tangent there, I was explaining to our Johnny Vids, friend of the show. I was explaining to him
I love him.
because he had mentioned about Hoodie's birthday and that he felt bad that he'd managed to send you a message, but obviously he didn't know that it was your birthday. He'd obviously seen the post, so I don't think he's probably not sent it to you, but he's made a clip of him singing like "Happy Birthday" or something.
Oh, I'm very
those
excited.
lines to you. So I'm sure if he's went back and clipped it out, he'll be able to send it to you. But he created that. And he says, I didn't realise. He says, so I've not forgot, I just didn't know. And I said, you know what's funny? I says, but I'll probably never forget that it's his birthday. I said, because we have an actual like Guy Fawkes night, or because Guy Fawkes. And he's like, what's that? And I'm like, I says, oh, it's a Guy Fawkes. It's a celebration when some guy almost blew up Parliament, and so we set off fireworks to celebrate that he failed. So
Sounds about right. That's a good way to remember.
Aye.
Share a birthday with a failure. I couldn't get any more in brand.
Aye. So
Critically acclaimed loser, self-proclaimed humble legend.
Exactly. So I apologies, but that's I just thought it was a funny thing that's not obviously a common
great.
thing, but he tried to blow up the English Parliament, so celebrate it.
Celebrate. So straight after Guy Fawkes night, it's kind of like, here we go, fucking, it's on. Christmas is on. For me, I buy presents all year round near enough. Like I think I literally start in like August. I've got there's 9 grandchildren in my family, and that's my family. So we only do the kids now, and my mum and the mum and dad obviously. So I've got quite a lot of presents to buy for. That's not even in my own household. And then we've obviously got my wife's family as well, so we've got a lot of Christmas presents to buy. So I always start in August. So that's not an unusual thing for me. So buying the presents is just always like that for me. Movies, I was actually thinking about it. I was like, I'm going to start movies soon, because we only really have like a movie night really once in here, like once a week. So
Right.
I'm kind of thinking if it's once a week, then it's only going to be like, I've only got like 4 or 5 weeks, like really, like up to
Aye.
Christmas. So
That's what I
it
fear as
kinda,
well.
like,
Leaving
get
it too
on it.
late.
I think was that last year you done that, or the year before? There was one year you text me, you says, I feel like I've hardly watched any Christmas movies.
It was
like, 'cause I've
definitely the year
left it too late.
before.
Yeah.
I have a hit list. I don't know how you
Yep.
kind of approach it, but I have a hit list of ones that I'm like, I want to watch these ones, and then I just try and watch them. But Mrs. Mac she has to be in the mood to watch like certain ones. She has her favourites, but I don't even know. I can't really remember even if we managed to watch Elf last year or no. I don't remember. That's our favourite one, I think, but I don't think we managed to watch it. I'm just not 100% sure now. It was either that or the Grinch, or we put one of them on and she fell asleep. I don't remember.
Yeah.
She loves the Grinch, so between the two of them, but we never managed to. But the year before, like, we definitely didn't watch like like nearly any. Like it was just one of the things. It was like we were getting right close to Christmas, and we'd only really like we were going to watch like a couple of movies like on the lead up to it, and obviously it just depends on like where Christmas lands. Like some years it lands like on the same week that you finish at work, or like this year for example it's finishing. We finish work on the Friday, and I think Christmas Day is the Monday, so you've got the weekend still to do things. But so it does really depend. But I think as it gets closer to November, definitely like tree season is like when I would typically start. But I definitely don't mind starting a wee bit early so we can like get a few of them in. But we definitely watch probably a lot more. Well, obviously Sundays are our kind of movie day, but in terms of like because we generally watch TV shows like other than that, but I'm sure like on like a weekday we would probably we would tend to stay away from movies. So it would definitely be like a Sunday, but we would, because obviously there's just the two of us, we would be able to watch like 3 or 4 of them, so we could probably make up a wee bit more time than what maybe you would if you were only having it like movie night and only watching one. Like I would definitely be looking to try and start sooner.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of my movies I actually watch, like I like the Muppets, the Christmas Carol. I think that's like one of the best Christmas movies. But I think Orla likes it, but Siobhan doesn't really like it, and Lachlan's not bothered with it. So last year I ended up just watching it myself. Like I was just in one day and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to watch it myself. And another one's National Lampoons. Nobody else likes National Lampoons Christmas Vacation in my house. So that's a film I just watch myself at Christmas.
I don't even think I've seen that, to be honest.
That's two that I need to watch. Like if there's maybe like a top 5, Home Alone. I'd say 1 and 2 is counted as one. And that Home Alone, Elf, the Muppets, National Lampoons, and what's the other one? Oh, I can't remember now. There's another one that's just it's out of my mind.
See where you're trying to think. See the Christmas Muppets Christmas Carol like that. I've seen it, back in the day, and a good few times when I was younger. It's not something that I've watched for a long time. I don't actually think I've watched anything Muppets for a long time. I don't know if I've got the patience for it now. With some of them, why not? Exactly. With like the Miss Piggy and stuff like that. It's just really, it's just something else, isn't it? But I think I would try it one day. I think is it not, who's this? Is it Michael Caine? Am I misremembering that?
Michael Caine.
It is.
It's a really good thing with Timmy with his leg and all that. I just think I like the whole like Scrooge idea and the different adaptations of it. So it is a good telling of that story. But I just love that story. So the Christmas movies are going to be starting soon. As I was actually thinking that we're going to be doing Home Alone 2 review, maybe in this podcast. Maybe. I think that's maybe what we're thinking about doing, because we did Home Alone 1 last year. So I feel like we should just do the second one maybe this year if the boys are up for it. So I was actually thinking about listening to that back. The podcast, I was actually thinking about listening to that maybe next week to just kind of realise what we're actually saying and stuff. I know that we missed the fucking sticky bandits a lot. The wet bandits, sorry. They're the wet bandits in the first one. Bandits. And I can't
believe
sticky,
all right.
I can't believe it. We fucking didn't even talk about them. But anyway, we'll rectify that in Home Alone 2. That's my movies. Decorating the house. Decorating the house. I'm kind of the same as you. I don't like it up too early. I do like seeing Christmas stuff. I love seeing it in the shops. As you said, straight after Halloween, all the shops just pop them up, and I love like just walking around the shops and you're all snuggled up in your big jackets.
What about like when you see people's houses? Like you might have a set rule for you, but when is the earliest that you'd be like, okay, that's all right?
Well, I actually seen one that was no far away from my house. They had their stuff up like the day after Halloween. Like it must have been the 1st of November. Like it was like Halloween like a couple of days, and I would drive by and I was like, "That's a fucking Christmas tree." That's fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I love that shit. I love that fucking clip. But every time that comes up on my Instagram, I watch it. Like the story that he tells, pulled up at the lights.
So that I mean that was a bit of a shock because I just felt like it was just Halloween. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, that's a bit of a shock. But I don't judge people. Do you know what? Have it up 2 months because you know what? If you go to space and whatever else, the only reason I don't have my Christmas tree up earlier is because I've got the two lanes. Like all that is fine. All I wouldn't touch the tree, but like Lachlan, I don't know what he's going to do with this tree this year. Honestly, man, I always feel that it's going to be worse than it is. Like last year was the same. I was like, I'm not putting that tree up till like 1st of December. Then I put it up and they never even touched it once. You know. So I'm hoping it's the same. I mean, we've got a lot of the kind of like soft toys and a lot of the like the kind of soft, they're soft toys, I suppose, that you press and they sing music and stuff like that. So I feel like we've got a lot of them. It kind of keeps them away from the tree. So I kind of put mine up the last week of November, just kind of whenever I'm not working that weekend, because I like the kind of the full weekend. You know, sometimes you Saturdays just for like cleaning your house and then actually building all your stuff, and then maybe the next day might be like put your lights up in your window or just do the last wee bits and pieces, you know. So I like to have the full weekend to do it. So I'm always the last week in November to like nearly the start of December.
Are we about the same as each other actually, aren't we?
And I'm one of the people. 26th of December, my tree's done. I'm like, it's done. Christmas is done. Get it done. Like I hate having it up. I know you keep it up for a wee bit longer.
Usually it's about New Year. I don't get that much time off work, so I don't know what I spend too much yet. Try to spend time taking trees apart and all that stuff. So I usually just wait till after New Year, and usually like the build up to like going back to work. So I feel like a wee bit of productivity there on the Monday, like before we go back in, like on the Wednesday or something. Like I'll just rattle it that morning, like just try and get as much of the stuff done as possible, because I don't want to, as I say, I don't want to spend like any of my days off work trying to mess about with a tree or anything.
Aye. I hate it up after it. I just feel like it's done. Get it done. You know, I guess
I don't see it as like it's like, oh, that's Christmas by the way. It's like the Christmas period. Like I have it because of like the industry I work in. It is every year that this happens. Like there's a hard right, that's it. So it's just like us as us. It's we're at Christmas time now, and that's just how my mind works, where it's not quite like, oh, the Christmas day is done, so that's it done. Like it's just
the full festive period of 2 weeks,
like the full time, including New Year itself. In terms of till I'm virtually back at work. So usually I don't think it's ever been up as long as like, oh, it's time to go back to work and like that. I'm positive that I've always kind of had that away by the time I go back.
Yeah, and I think for Christmas mood, I think I don't really get into the Christmas mood. I know I'm Christmas orientated and I like stuff, but I don't really feel like I get into Christmas mood until I actually start wrapping my presents. That's when I feel like it's coming, because as I said, we buy our presents so far in advance that it doesn't really feel like, oh, I'm buying Christmas presents. So it's not till your tree's up, it's like December, you're starting to wrap, it's freezing in your house, you're all cozied up, you know what I mean, watching films, and that's when I'm like, all right, it's coming, it's coming now. That's when I start to get in the mood. But one thing we never talked about was music, Christmas music, and I think that's a huge part of Christmas. I've already started listening to Christmas music. I started maybe last week. I've got on the radio. We've got a Heart Christmas. It's a radio station here. They always kind of start. I think it's just before Halloween they start, and they put this up. So I've started listening to it last week, and I love it. I love Christmas music. There's just something about Christmas music. I just love it. It's great.
I think the first time that I put Christmas music on is when I'm putting the tree up. So that's like the last week in November, and then I don't really listen to it. The only time I'll ever really hear it is shopping, out getting the shopping. If I don't have my earphones in, or if I have one earphone in, then it'll come on. Or the last day of work, my colleague always puts Christmas music on, because our work brings in like a Christmas lunch. So we all have lunch.
Nice.
They buy, usually it's, I feel like, an Italian. So last year me and him done like half pizza, half pasta type thing. The Christmas songs on the last day. So other than that, I don't actually listen to the radio, so I don't have a call for that either. I just put podcasts on or listen to music and stuff. So my typical bah humbug nature shows there when it comes to Christmas songs. I like Christmas songs. I like there's a set. Definitely have a set list of ones that I like. I have a funny kind of story with Christmas songs where there's a singer, obviously. Is it what band is Noddy Holder in?
Slade.
So what's the song that is it? I Wish It Would Be Christmas. Is that their tune?
Yes.
So so obviously that came on one time. I was staying at my mum and dad's, and obviously like in that video he has the big kind of, you know, obviously they're all old songs, but he has the big like old kind of thingy here and the big fucking massive glasses and stuff. And and I said to my dad, I says, do you know Hank that he looks a wee bit do you know Hank he looks a wee bit like my Auntie Marion, which is my dad's sister, and my dad busted out laughing, and he's like, wait till I tell her. He's like, you better phone her and tell her. And I was like, I better tell her. I says, there's two chances that happening. I'm not phoning her, no chance. So he picks up the phone and he phones her, and he goes and he just hands me the phone, and just like, you better tell her. He's I don't know how he managed to convince me to tell her, but anyway, I told her, and she's to this day now she always calls, like, she always refers to herself as like my Uncle Noddy. So I've got I think I might even have her on my phone as Uncle Noddy. That's what we call her. So I put a Facebook post on when I stayed in a flat. I took a picture of it, and I said, do you know, it's always nice when my this time of year when my wee auntie comes on the telly singing her wee song, and I get quite a few kind of likes that off the family and that for that as well. So she always kind of shares it, because she with the big glasses and stuff, she definitely has a wee kind of likeness to it. So I have a wee affinity for that song in particular, that look.
That was Merry Christmas Everyone. That song.
Okay. So close enough. But
I
do like so there's in terms of like when it's the right time is probably probably into December and that. But when the tree's up, that's definitely like Christmas music time. Is like we get the tree up and we'll listen to get the music on and stuff. But I don't like seek it out or anything like that.
Yeah. What about yourself, Hoodie?
I mean, we don't put up trees or anything, and we don't do much else. All the Christmas lights are up all year. Christmas music will play throughout the 2 months. But I don't. It's not like we're fucking bringing out a. I'm trying to think of what you play vinyls on. Fucking
record player.
What is it? Record player. Holy shit, man! Yeah, it's like you're bringing out a record player. You know what? I do buy Christmas sweaters early on. I just bought a Grinch one, and then I got Mom Peanuts one, Snoopy.
Nice.
So
nice.
Those are the big early festive things. I mean, she plays Christmas music.
You keep lights up?
Yeah, all year round.
In the house?
Yeah.
What, like in the windows?
Oh, yeah.
Alright, cool. That's a good thing. Nice.
Yeah.
But
why? I'm gonna put them back up. Why bother? Just to keep them all around.
Just keep them up.
They blend in.
Why not?
You got a tree up today?
No, he said that.
No, we've stopped that. That's a fake tree was an idea, and then it was like, how are you gonna store this thing? Where's it gonna
Yeah, that is one of the problems. If you don't have the storage space, you're kind of on the plums for that kind of thing.
So where does Santa put your presents?
Let me tell you what. You don't want to find out.
He stuffs them right in somewhere.
I have a stocking, and it's not where you think it is.
If you ever had if you ever wanted to get like a real tree, I know I think you said your brother got one once, Gary, and
that
was
totally
enough.
put me off. I was totally put me off. He got a real one, and I think he got it like literally like maybe like a week before Christmas. I think you're supposed to get it close because obviously it fucking dies. And I always remember going to his. We went to his for Christmas dinner, and I just looked at this tree, and it just you could literally see the fucking needles like falling off. It just literally like. I was like, what the fuck, man? What is that? Like, you'd be fucked. And the way I hoover my house twice a day. Like, I've just got this wee bit of OCD about hoovering my house. I would just have a hoover constantly on if that was my tree. You know what I mean?
aye.
I do like there was a I think we talked about this last time. There's a company actually you can rent trees, and they come in a big pot, and then the company comes and takes them away again.
Pretty good.
And I was like, that's a pretty cool idea. They actually keep it alive and all that kind of stuff. And then once it gets to a certain height, I think it's over 6 or 7 foot, they plant it in the forest.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Like a touring Christmas tree, isn't it? It's like they bring it out to have a tour, and then they put it out to pasture and let it grow.
Yeah. They probably cut it down.
Right.
I'll tell you what. Nothing screams Christmas like having your green Christmas tree turn brown right before the presents are underneath it.
Exactly.
So it's nice to have something that keeps it alive, yeah.
So is that
a dried out, decaying tree?
Is that your experience of the real tree hoodie? That they...
sorry, on you.
I mean, growing up, it was always a real tree. Mom put it up. She'd do all the work. She'd do a great job. And then it was, hey, let's keep watering it. And then you keep doing it. And then little by little, you realize, we're pushing the day back when the tree comes. We're pushing it a little bit further, a little bit further away. And then it just got so far that we just don't have one.
I totally get that then.
Because it is a lot of work. Like, it's insane how messy a Christmas tree can be.
Didn't you have like a little one that you used to put out for in your room? Was that you?
I have a small fake one. Yeah, like it's up to my knee, and that's about it.
That's good enough.
I'll put that in the living room. Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's good enough. Good.
Yeah. I think so.
It's funny because I actually don't really. It's always in the American movies, isn't it? It's like, let's go to the fucking like yards and go and fucking collect our Christmas tree and all that kind of shit. You always see it in all the Christmas.
That'll come, by the way, because we never used to have pumpkin picking and all that nonsense, and now we do.
Here, I don't know anybody that really buys a live Christmas tree.
No, I don't know anybody either, but it will come.
I just feel like it's funny, like I see like your artificial tree, you just shove in the attic all year round. It ends up becoming like a pure heirloom. Your house. It does, doesn't it? It's so weird.
My mum's got the same one since I was born. Like,
the first one we bought, we moved in here. I think it was October, November. It was the end of the year. And we were doing our house up, like the living room and all that was getting ripped out, like fucking back to brick. So we were playing plaster and all that, and we were like, we're not putting a tree up this year because there's just too much mess. And Siobhan was like, no, we need to have a Christmas tree. And I remember we bought this Christmas tree. It was just off like Gumtree or, one of these websites, just like a marketplace. And the woman came with it, and she was pure nearly greeting and all that. And she's like, this has been in my family for like 20 years. She was like, I hope it like serves your family and all that. And she was like pure nearly greeting. I was like, it just shows you how much like
you were probably like thinking about like, I'm just going to shut this. Like,
I was thinking to myself, this is a Christmas tree I'm going to have for about a year.
I'm going to get a permanent one. Like, we bought one for local supermarket, Tesco, obviously for the UK listeners, but we went and bought one, and it just wasn't good. Like there was too big of gaps between the kind of tiers or whatever. So we ended up just obviously getting the big one, but I don't know if I've mentioned it on the podcast before or anything like that, but we went to the shop to get it, and obviously when I just like kind of jolly and try and pick something. She had an idea in mind for what kind of size that she was looking for, and she just wanted one that was a wee bit fuller, ideally like a kind of frosted effect, but fuller was the biggest kind of thing. So we seen a couple, and then we walked around this kind of bit at the opposite side of the store. Store, we don't even call it that. Shop. It's a shop, right? Anyway, we went
Welcome to America, dude.
to the other side, and we seen this tree, and I'm like, she's like, that one, like, and it was like, but it was like £200, so it was like a investment. We knew we were wanting to get one that was going to do us for a long time. And I'm like, it's some size, but obviously you're in like a big massive shop, so a big massive area, so you don't really get an appreciation for like the size of this thing. So
Space and stuff.
exactly, so we found the box, and I've tried to lift it, literally like lift it to put it into the trolley. Couldn't lift it. It was ridiculously heavy. Could not lift it. And I was like, I'm looking at Jillian, and I'm like, I'm just going to go and take this out to the car now. I literally had to like half like carry it and half like walk with like 1 foot under it. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like carrying it away to the car. It was fucking, and then I had to just like push it against the boot so that I could then like lift it up and push it into the back of the car. So we managed to get home, and with the couch sitting kind of not where it is now, but with the couch sitting with the gap at the end, and that's where the old tree lived. But we moved to like the main, obviously if you've ever built a fake tree, usually you obviously have the main pole up the middle, and you start with the feet, and then you put the first one in. The first one and this opposite one is obviously going to tell you how far out the bottom diameter of the tree is, which is the widest part of the tree. So I put the first one in, and I'm looking down at this thing, and I'm like, this is massive. This is absolutely massive. And I'm like, this is Jillian, put another one in the opposite slot, and she put it in, and I'm like, Jillian, that's not going to fit. That's not going to fit in this bit. I says, look at the space out there. It's like it might, and I'm like, I'm telling you now, even without a measuring tape, that isn't fitting. And we had to rearrange the entire living room to get this thing to fit. We had to move the couch to like a totally different place. And we moved, like, we had a single chair, or we've got a single chair. We had that sitting, and eventually we managed to like find this place for the tree. But we were moving like every bit of furniture we've got around, and we obviously had to build the tree so that we could then see like where it was we were putting it. And we tried it in like 2 or 3 different places, and obviously we were getting like dead stressed out, and we'd paid a lot of money for this, and Gillian was like, we're going to have to just take it back, it's too big for the house. But I knew she really wanted it, so I'm so glad that we managed to like find a solution that this tree actually like could sit somewhere else. So I'm quite glad. Yeah, it's a nice tree. I'm sure we'll see a picture of it this year again on, as Gillian usually shares.
Yeah. Aye, but anybody else getting to say Christmas related?
I don't. I'm interested to know when Hoodie kind of does his Christmas routines. Do you kind of feel the urge to watch the kind of movies and listen to music? Like, is it closer to December? Is it as soon as Thanksgiving's at the road?
Well, Mom plays the music all throughout the 2 months. The second we have cable, so the second the music channel changes to seasonal music, she's on that.
Right.
But yeah, we start watching Christmas movies early on. Usually, this year we started on the 1st. So
oh, nice.
Yeah, we're already going with that.
What was first?
Home Alone.
Oh, nice.
Home Alone.
Nice.
You can never go wrong with Home Alone. Home Alone and Elf, my 2 favorite Christmas movies.
Yeah.
So
good start.
Yes. They're the go-to. So we'll probably watch Elf next, and then we do like the little shorts a lot of the time that maybe not are essentially Christmas, but like Knick Knack, which is the one with the that Pixar made with the snowman in the snow globe, and he's trying to escape it to go hang out with the mermaid. We'll watch that. Some of the quicker ones we tend to get out of the way early on, and then save things like Elf or the Grinch, the classic Grinch one, for closer to Christmas, because those are way more Christmassy than I think most of them are.
Yeah, I used to love the Snowman, just straight up the Snowman. Like, I used to watch that. I used to have the VHS for it or whatever, and I used to take it to other people's houses so I could like watch it and stuff when I was like proper wee. Like, absolutely adored it. Which is just
it's the best,
crazy to think about, but I loved that. Loved that tune.
Yeah. It's
so
good.
I love all the wee like Christmas shots and all that. I love that.
Oh
Do you know what? It's always this time of year, and I always say to Siobhan, the last couple of years we've watched Father Ted like leading up to Christmas, because it's got like that Christmas episode in Father Ted, and she was like to me the other day, she was like, "You know watching Father Ted this year?" And I was like, I just felt like I've just watched it. I don't know. I don't know. I just not feeling it this year. But I do love that episode of Father Ted. It's fucking brilliant.
I tell you what, that would be one of the good segments to do at some point, is having our favorite TV episodes that are Christmas, because there's so many bangers out there, man. Like, honestly, The Office has some of the greatest of all time, and
yeah, I think so.
Like, I'll watch them throughout the year even, and they're just so fucking perfect. The Moroccan themed episode where Phyllis wants a Moroccan Christmas ends with like everybody outing Andy. Like, that whole thing is so good. Yeah,
the one at Dwight does the German Christmas.
It was good.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's like us here. And we just watched the Benihana one recently as well, which I quite enjoyed that one. With the karaoke and stuff.
Something that always really good. The Christmas episodes was the Futurama. It was one of the first Christmas ones where it was the robot Santa tries to kill everybody.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
That's a good.
Fantastic.
I like
love Teen Titans
Simpsons.
Go. Simpsons is really good too.
Some of the Simpsons ones is quite good with it, especially like say the one where they're like stealing all the Christmas toy that the bad companies came and like developed. They took advantage of the kids and stuff, and that was like one of my favourite ones. I think one of their first episodes, or the very first episode, was a Christmas episode.
Yeah,
the
it's when they
episode.
get Santa's little helper.
Yeah,
the dog.
I think it's Chestnuts Roasting Out on Fire is the name of the
something
episode.
That's more modern I like to watch is it was Orla when she was wee. She used to love Frozen, and it was the Olaf's Adventure. Trying to find the Christmas tradition. It's so good. It's so good.
I don't think I've seen that either.
Honestly, you need to watch it at Disney. It's brilliant.
If you haven't seen it, I can't remember what it's called at the very moment. It's escaping me, but it's the Elf one that they made for like Disney made for like Prep and Landing. That's what it's called. They have two of those. They are so good that I wish they had just made a Christmas movie. It's from Disney Animation Studios, and they're like full on better than most things that have ever just been made for Christmas. Of these two elves, one of them's a rookie and one of them's like, the aged elf, and he's like, I'm too old for this shit or whatever. And they are like, they have an Operation Christmas because something's been fucked up, so they have to go and correct the wrong because some kid didn't get a present. It's so good. Like, if you haven't seen them, watch both of them. They're love them. I only got 30 minutes too.
I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, but that's been our topic of all Christmas things. I'm sure we'll do more Christmas stuff in the coming future. Definitely, I think Home Alone 2. It looks like it's going to be locked in soon enough. We've got Ben chatting down the door for Home Alone 2 review, so I feel like we can't let our people down.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have. We've got a couple at least to be able to, a couple of Fridays to pick for, so we'll maybe try and have a wee confab about that and see what we what we think's the best Friday or Saturday or whatever to try and get the last recording of the year in the books. I'm hoping that we managed to get it, because it would be nice to see off the end of the year and it's be good to talk about.
And also we'll get the results of the fantasy league as well.
Exactly.
The results of the fantasy league next episode.
Look forward to that as well. Right, okay. On that note, thanks again, everybody, for listening. It's been another great episode. I love these topic episodes. It just allows us to bring in some topical topics, as well as some random ones that we we come across, and then some really random ones that come from Hoodie's mysterious brain. They're absolutely wonderful. I actually can't wait to even talk about his other topic that he put out there. I definitely want that on the board so that we can talk about that in the future. It's great to think of these things randomly and then make good use of them. So yep, I'm hoping, like I said, as Gary mentioned, we'll get the Home Alone 2 out next month, and I'll be able to wish you all the very best in that episode. So I'm hoping, and we'll keep all the thanks and hopes to that episode. But until then, take care.
This has been one victory royale of an episode.
Goodbye.
Thanks again for listening to another episode of the Vault Dwellers Podcast. You can keep up with Gary Moore at Gary Moore's Art over on Instagram. Keep up with myself, Twitter, on Twitch at MrMac92, and you can't keep up with Hoodie at The Penny Marvels over on Instagram. A very special shout out to Al the Predator Tribesman for creating the intro and outro music. Thanks again for listening. Take care. Bye.